welcome to the full 42. I still have not changed that intro. I thought I'd get to do it before the new year. This is our first new year, so happy new year, everybody. And we got special guests with us.
Oh, look at the TV. Say hi.
There you go. I got the little names going down at the bottom. There you go. So we got special guests with us. We're going to talk about top 5 games we would like to relearn, and none of us really discussed what that meant, so it'll be interesting. And then it's fine if they're all different. It'd be weird if they were all the same.
No. It'd be awesome if they were all the same. If all 4 of our lists were the same 5, that'd be sick.
Well, they'll never be that because you and I have different realms of we Venn diagram definitely, but
yeah, sure.
Which is good. That's what you want. We got people saying hi.
Howdy, Peter. How are you? Steven, Bailey. Yeah, happy New Year.
Yeah. It's. I guess we're a little late, but it's been. We took the first Monday off, right? So.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we got our guest here. We're gonna dig into all the lovely, interesting topics and stuff like that. We also have Luke Schrack's time. Is that right? Luca Schrack. Luca. I'm trying to merge Rorschach and Luca together.
You failed.
Rorschach. I like that one. Anyway, we're gonna look at that, and we might play a game. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff to do.
Yeah, we got some stuff to do. It'll be fun. Alan, how are you?
Yeah, how is everybody?
Yeah, how's your New Year's going, guys?
Good. It's a lot like last year.
Perfect.
Fair enough. That's fair.
Not for you though. You started the new year married.
That's true.
So
I was married last year too.
With a new marriage.
Yes.
Same for me, actually. This is my first year starting as married. So.
Oh, congratulations.
What was that?
I said not us, not the right side of the screen.
Yeah, no, I was trying to twist down, but then it just looked like I was trying to hit him in the head. But yeah, so let's see. We have announcements. You have announcements, Mike?
Yeah. I got Lucas painting. I got I posted on a couple sites today, but I'm heading to the Level Up retreat in northern Jersey at the beginning of February. Hey, Matty P. So that's going to be fun. And West, who's been on the show, he got a little tag on my guest announcement that says the special guest, which I thought was really nice. I'm honored. I'm looking forward to that. I'll be there for 3WS, but I'm looking forward to Di will be there. I know a bunch of people from the area are going, so I'm looking forward to that for sure. I was up at Daryl's over the weekend playing a bunch of games, and I have an interesting question if we want to go down a certain path later. Doesn't have to be in announcements. And then 2 weeks I'll be up in Niagara Board Gaming Weekend. If anyone goes to that, I'm looking forward to that. I've heard really good things about that one. But other than that,
close to me.
Huh?
I'm so close to that. I'll be right there. I'll start walking now.
Yeah, you're right. Well, you and Chris could just just walk together. You could carpool together.
Yeah.
Where? I wasn't listening to you. What was it?
It's a long way to Niagara. Is the answer?
Oh yeah.
Basically, it's like 25 minutes from where the gathering is held. It's across the border in Canada. I've been told it's got the QSCon kind of feel where it's really just about playing board games and hanging out with friends. It's been going for a bunch of years. They just switched new locations, so I'm looking forward to going. It'll be my first time going there. So,
oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
I'm gonna try to get my passport, and maybe I'll be able to walk across the Canadian border this time at the gathering.
There you go. Yeah, so coming back from Daryl's, I talked to the border agent because my passport expires in May. Mm-hmm. And I said, I'm going to be there in April. Are there any restrictions? Because I remember, I don't remember how long ago, but I remember the passport was like, well, if it expires within a certain amount of months, it's actually invalid. And I talked to the guy and he's like, you're fine. you're a U.S. citizen. They'll let you in no matter what. But he's like, you should apply quick because it takes a while. So if you're planning on it, you should probably do that.
Like if it expires in May, it's really expired in February. They just don't tell you that.
Exactly. What's the point of expiration?
It's for February.
So
that's the Best Buy date.
Best Buy, Best Buy, not sell by. Right. So yeah, other than that, I got Luca's painting. If you guys want to delve into his painting, for those that know or for those that don't know, Luca, who was just on, has been painting watercolors since December of 2022. He ended the year with 177.
Oh wow,
172. I think I put on the Discord the breakdown in months. The highest month was 21 in June. I think we spent a lot of time on Father's Day making a couple. And then the lowest, which is weird, was November. There were only 4 in November, and I think it was because of Thanksgiving and a bunch of travel that was going on. So he ended the year with 172 different paintings, and he started the year right now with 7. I've got 7 from 2024. So
wow,
racking them.
I haven't even done 7 things this year.
Doesn't stop. He's actually asking now. I'll keep the 4x4s on the table, and he'll grab them and he'll say paint, and I'll ask him, and he'll say yes. So he sits up on the table, and I put out the watercolors, and he paints. So
that's pretty awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah.
He did this one
today. A gallery soon, right?
Yeah. So I was talking
I
was talking to somebody. It wasn't on the show. I think it was at New Year's. I think it was at New Year's, and they said you could like hot glue them and put them together in order of how he's painted them, and then put them up on the wall.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I think it would be really. So I have all of 2020, like the first iteration. I'll put them together. I don't think there'll be a shadow box big enough for them, but put them in different pieces, and then I'll have this year. I'll do the same thing. So, and I said I was going to keep it going. So
nice.
But this one was made today.
Oh, it's like full on canvas and everything too.
Oh yeah, he started with 3x3s, and now he's graduated to 4x4. So this is a 4x4 canvas.
All right, so now we're supposed to say what we see in here. First thing that pops in your head, what do you see?
Charmander.
Yeah, that's a good one.
See that,
right? Yeah, Charmander. He's doing a punch.
This is his tail.
To some like green Pokemon that I can't name.
I was gonna say like a Japanese Oni.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Like the horns and stuff.
I see a turkey in a bush getting shot. I didn't paint it.
But you see it, which is weird.
Okay, you see the bush, right? The turkey's looking up, screaming like "Khan," that kind of thing, and then the red X's are all the bullet hole. Turkey.
I mean, the turkey's head's just been obliterated. It's been disconnected from his neck.
That's all that's left.
Is this his head? Are you saying?
No. The very tip top. That's his beak.
Most of the head's gone.
Yeah,
most of it's gone. Yeah.
There's a missing piece of neck.
New Year's starting out kind of violent, I guess. I normally don't see it like that. Yeah,
that one's fun.
Ghostbusters and Slimer.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I can see that.
Or an
ice skater.
Yeah, the ice skater and ice skating devil.
Where's the ice skater? I don't see the ice skater.
I see like legs and then maybe like a path how they got there kind of thing.
Okay.
Lines up top, maybe.
Oh, yeah, like the little trails.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like
A brown knight on a green ostrich. Oh, okay. We're doing joust. Doing some joust.
He's coming this way. I assume this is the ostrich head and he's facing that. That's funny.
Red cleric dispelling green ghosts.
You gotta watch out for those green ghosts.
Interesting.
What happened to me as a child?
Slimer and a green ghost, and then ice skater and ice skater. There's a couple overlaps in this one.
Nice. Well, it's the weird because the green kind of like is separate a little bit, so you got to give it its own identity a bit, right? Almost went Christmas tree with it.
Mm.
But turkey getting shot out of a Christmas tree was a little.
I can't unsee the ostrich.
Yeah. That's a strong one.
Yeah, I'm stuck with the ostrich knight now. That's funny.
About Splinters giving a lesson to young Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles
That's cool. These are 2 turtles. That's a good one, Evan.
I can see that.
and getting shot. No.
And Splinter's getting shot. Yeah, so that's today's.
Rorschach time.
Little nervous about Chris and what he saw, but other than that,
And I'm mostly vegetarian. All right, so we did lightning round with Ian. This is Ian's second time. And
well,
this,
wait. Are there any other announcements in the group? Do you guys have?
yeah. Anybody want announce stuff? I could put the announcements. No
I
announcements.
don't think so.
Nothing. It's the beginning of the year. We haven't gotten
Ian and I don't have anything exciting happening.
Yeah.
That's false.
nothing that can be talked about. How about that?
I don't believe that for a second.
Leave some mystery in there.
It's mostly that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. That's the announcement.
Stay tuned. So this is Ian's second time, and the first time he got to do the lightning round. This is John's first time, so we're gonna put them together and let them lightning round together because it's more fun that way.
I was saying before we hopped on the show, I was saying the last time Ian was on, I missed the show because Luca was being born. So I was all excited to hang out with Ian and got him to book and said, we're going to do it. And all of a sudden I was like, hey, Ian, guess what? Not going to be there. I remember watching the show, most of the show, part of the show from the hospital room. And that was 2 years.
Just holding hands and be like, yeah. And then just the phone.
Can you shut up? I can't hear what he's saying.
Breathe, but quieter.
Yeah, just breathe quieter. Yeah, so that little fun fact, last time Ian was on the show, I was not, and Luca was new to the world.
Yeah.
Nice.
Now look at him, already surpassing all of us in the art world. Just
Yeah,
And
next time Ian's on the show, I'll be able to paint.
I look forward to that.
All right, so I'm going to share the screen. Here we go, and explain what's going on here. All right, so John, you and Ian are going to be asked a question. It's going to take you down the yellow path or the red path, and eventually you're going to go down for a little while until these are lightning rounds. So just some quick decisions. Under here, you have several different possibilities. It's all very scientific, inarguable, that you are most like this, what do you call it, fictional character.
Is this like Pachinko trivia?
I mean, it's not really trivia. It's just more, which one do you prefer, this or that kind of thing. Let's see. Okay, they're all William Shatner. That would be funny to do. Especially if there were two people that ended up on two different ones. They were both William Shatner.
yeah.
You could do something for April Fools.
All right. So, that's true. That's true. So, first question.
You're not going to do that. Wink.
Nothing. April Fools is on a Monday.
Oh, really? Cool.
April 1 is a Monday.
First question is Star Wars or Marvel?
Marvel.
Yeah, I think we have the same answer on that one as Marvel.
All right. Well, that was quick. So we're going to put you both over here. All right. Next question. Iron Man or Captain America?
Iron
Captain.
Man.
Oh, no.
Oh, lit already. John, you said Iron Man.
I did.
Ian went Captain America.
Oh,
John loves his billionaires.
I did. I'm a big fan of capitalism.
Iron Man. All right, John.
Speaking of capitalism, I noticed the new QE edition came out, John. I saw
Oh
it.
yeah.
Yeah, I saw it. I got an email from something about new releases, and it was one of the things that popped up.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I know the expansion's been getting some, but I think they did a new edition of everything, so that's
Nice.
really exciting.
Super intelligence or strength and invulnerability, John?
Intelligence.
Yeah,
You make that money.
Help make some game. Be followed by an evil clown only you can see, or monsters only others can see.
Yeah, let's go Evil Clown. Yeah, it's all right. We'll be friends. It's fine.
Who's here? Is this Tim?
Evil's, not a deal breaker.
Might be. John,
Yes.
grow to 20 feet tall or shrink to 1 inch tall?
Shrink.
A lot of people have asked questions about that one. I like that you just committed right away.
You said lightning round, so
I've always wanted to be tiny. Like, I think it'd be so cool. Like, I used to play a lot of Unreal, and my favorite map was it was called Turkey Burgers, and it was like a kitchen, and you were tiny and running around and shooting
that's
each other
fun.
in it.
Ian, give up your favorite food or eat the same dinner every day.
I could eat the same dinner every day. If it's my favorite food, I'll eat it all the time.
Yeah, you don't even have to give up your favorite food if you eat it every day.
Yeah, it's just the only thing.
But it's got to be the same dinner every day. John, you both are on the right side of the tree. I want to see some. Have to end every meeting with "I love you" or start every meeting with high fives?
I've said I love you in a meeting before by accident. So
By accident?
Yeah, I mean, it just happened.
Yeah.
I don't remember what happened when I said bye, I love you at the end of the meeting, and
We got a high five.
then I got a high five.
Ian, have neon green skin or hot pink skin?
Oh, I'm going to go neon green because I feel like I can just get green screened out everywhere.
Oh, that'd be fun.
I'd be the best post-production person of all time. I'd go into the movies immediately.
Make things float around.
Yeah, I would have to be naked though. That's the only problem.
All right. The drawback. John, speak any language or speak to animals?
Animals are way more awesome than humans, so speak to animals.
I'd worry that speaking to them would ruin it for me for animals.
Oh, they're probably dicks. Can I swear?
Yeah.
All right.
You must narrate everyone's actions, or a narrator only you can hear narrates yours.
Narrator only I can hear.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah,
I
that's
think I would
just
enjoy that. It's like Stranger
That's just
Than
a-
Fiction, right?
yeah, it's like a comedy that only I get to be a part of.
You look insane though, because you just sporadically start laughing at what the dude was saying.
No, it's just the narrator. It was good.
It'd be self-perpetuating because I start laughing and then he'd narrate how I'm laughing and everyone's looking at me funny, which would just make me laugh more.
Right.
Side question: whose voice, and you can't say Morgan Freeman, would you want to be your
Sure.
narrator?
Let's see who else has a great voice. Timothy Oliphant.
Oh, that's a good
that'd be
one.
Got that Justified. Yeah.
John, you have one?
Great question.
Mike?
Walter Goggins.
Yeah, we're stuck with Justified. Who from the Justified cast
Okay.
would you like to?
I haven't even watched Justified. Should
Wow.
I at some point? Is it good?
Yes, it's
Justified.
fantastic.
Yeah.
The new series they just did was amazing.
Mike?
I initially wanted to say Walken. Christopher Walken would be great.
That would.
That'd be pretty good. I was thinking Sean
Take a
Connery.
while.
I'd like a Sean Connery.
Either a while. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does kind of take a while to say stuff. That's funny. John, you must watch every show others recommend or never see recommended shows.
You've broken him.
Ian would have an easy time with this one because he never watches recommended shows. I'd have to say you must watch every show they recommend. I watch most of them.
All right.
Billy Connolly is a good
I
answer.
think I'd go the same way with that. Oh, yeah. Ian, watch Grease or Dirty Dancing 100 times.
I'm gonna go Dirty Dancing because I hate musicals most of the
You're gonna
time.
pick the one with statutory rape as the center plot.
Oh, you mean Grease?
I mean, both, I guess. Dirty Dancing, she was definitely like 15 and he was like 20. It was real gross.
Was she that young?
I think so.
Huh.
Definitely under 18.
I think the characters were even kind of that wide in
No,
age.
that's what I'm talking about. She as an actor was older, but her character.
Yeah.
was like
I think the
15.
characters were, John, the public becomes aware of your texts or search history.
Whichever. Text, search history. That's weirder.
Game design does weird things to your search history. I'll just say.
That's true. That's very true. I've been like, I must be on a list at this point.
Oh, between that and the amount of small baggies that I buy.
Yeah.
Ian, no candy at Halloween or no pie at Thanksgiving?
I'd say no pie at Thanksgiving. I feel like half the time when I eat that pie, it's usually like I shouldn't be doing this. I've already consumed enough food.
I don't know if I could say no to pie. John.
You sent me the wrong way, but okay.
Yeah, you went the wrong way.
Oh, that's because I can't say no to pie. I just couldn't do it.
I was excited we might rejoin each other on that one.
Yeah.
John, have your life and sound effects using a tuba or slide whistle.
Oh my god.
I mean, they're both like the sad noises, right? Like, womp,
Oh, yeah.
probably slide whistle. That's funnier.
Slide whistle would make me laugh more, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, he didn't even move you on that one. Chris is giving up. He didn't even move you.
We're stuck in the lightning rounds forever.
Only be able to eat foods beginning with M or S.
I mean, I have a question. Do these compound? So since Ian,
I can't do my favorite food. Yeah. Or have to eat the same meal every day.
Oh, yeah.
And that meal has to start with S. Sausage? I don't know.
Not a big salad fan. Sausage.
Oh, sure. I can get salad in there. Why
You
not?
went S, you're going that way.
What are good foods to start with?
John.
It's a good sausage salad.
Meatloaf.
Ooh, we're almost there. Look at that. One more question decides your fate.
Uh-oh.
Ooh,
John.
But we can't get the same one.
That's true. Guide someone's journey or control your own destiny?
I can barely decide things for myself. I don't want to decide them for somebody else. My own.
All right. So we're going to put you right there. We'll see what that is in a minute.
Again, that was the wrong one.
Yeah, that's the wrong one again, but
You did red.
I'm trying to get you over there.
this is very scientific, so I defer to you.
We've been
Gotta
doing
be
this for years, Chris.
Ian, killed the most in battle or saved the most in battle?
I mean, I want to save the most people, obviously.
You don't want to be.
Let everyone else
Bean?
do the murdering.
Not you being killed, but you killed the most in battle. You know, Lord of the Rings kind of thing.
Either murder a bunch of people or save a bunch of people. I'm gonna go save a bunch of people.
Going saved. All right. So science says, John, you're Captain Jack Sparrow.
Oh, absolutely.
See? Scientific.
Bang on.
Now, I hope this is so far wrong because
I do often hear him inquiring about where the rum has gone.
how great would it be if it was Phoebe? And
Again.
Ian, you are Samwise Gamgee.
All right, that's fine. I'll be Sam.
See that one? Yeah.
Yeah,
Everyone
all
needs Sam.
That makes sense.
Nice.
The hero of the story.
Yeah. Yeah. Most people would argue, I think.
Yeah.
And that's the lightning round.
Wow.
That was
There are
amazing.
some questions that I haven't even seen, Chris.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing with the tree. You know, sometimes.
So that's happened. You pick Marvel.
Yeah. Yeah. We get a lot of Star Wars.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the one with, there were a couple.
Listen, you stayed on the right side. That's fun.
Yeah, if you look at the tree, if you back out and you look at the way the tree. John kind of went down the middle, though.
Yeah. He started off on the left and kind of got away from Ian as fast as he could.
Yeah. I was excited for us to join up. I said it didn't happen.
We got all switched around. There we go.
Because when we're on the left side of the screen and you bring up, like when you pop one of these up,
Mhm.
it covers up the bottom person. So every time it was coming up John, and I didn't feel like that was appropriate. So I'd rather it cover up me than the guests, obviously.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just everything around.
Wow. I have not clicked on any of the comments, so I'm glad you were putting some up.
Yeah, a few of them. I thought
Wow, we get a lot of them here.
Mindy had a good point. She was graduating, or it was the summer of senior year. So
So on the border.
I mean, he looked 35, but yeah.
for sure.
Emma Stone as a narrator. That could be fun.
Oh, that would be good.
I like the narration thing. I think I saw a GIF on that something or a meme about that.
Yeah, that's pretty
Think
good.
of it.
It's real fun.
All right, so before we go into the top 5, let's talk about you guys for a little while. I've known you for just a couple weeks. You guys do some cool stuff in the industry. For those that may not know who you are or what you guys
We
do.
have fans already. I don't know.
Yeah, he's really big into dinosaurs. If you couldn't tell by his pajamas, so stomping around the living room.
Good kid.
Some people might know you from games you've done or shows you've done or podcasts. But we start with John. Tell people a little bit about yourself, where they can find you, what you're most known for, other than obviously being a guest on the Full 42.
I think that's where most people know me from. It's really
and your painting skills, your phenomenal painting skills
In the past 20 minutes of this.
Tiny Rancor.
So I'm a designer and developer for the most part. I do board games and RPGs, a little bit of both. I did Dead of Winter and Dinosaur Island and Kids on Bites. Those are kind of the three biggest ones. And I work with Maestro Media as a developer, so I've worked on the Hello Kitty game that we just had on Kickstarter and Smurfs that will be out soon. I've been around for a while. I think this will be the 10th anniversary of Dead of Winter this year.
Wow.
So, and I think I've been full-time designing for like maybe 7 years, but I've been designing for like 13 or 14.
Does that mean we've known each other for almost 10 years now?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's hard to believe.
Done.
All right, we'll call it after 10. It's fine. We
We have 10 good ones. Most people don't do that.
10's good. A decade's good.
Yeah.
You guys both do, and we'll get to Ian in a second, but you guys both were doing please don't bring that over here. No, that makes noise. Oh my god.
It's my jam.
You want to do Wheels on the Bus? You want to all do Wheels on the Bus?
Yeah.
Literally just
Is the battery dying? Or is it just a slow jam version of it?
it's a slow jam. Oh my god. Can I have
Steven, thank you so much. That's amazing. I really appreciate that.
Did you? There's a board game, kids, that's based on the Kids on the Bike story, right?
Yeah.
I got it from my brother for Christmas, and we haven't learned it yet. But I can't remember what it was called now. What was
the
it?
Snallygaster situation?
Yes. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm interested.
It was right there. It was right there.
Yeah.
Listen, I had to name it something no other board game's ever been named, and that's hard.
Yeah.
So
I still haven't played the final version. I need to play that. I've played tested. It's one of the ones that I played tested many times. I have yet to play the final version.
That's funny.
Do you have a copy, Ian?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
It's in my Gilmour block.
Tara was commenting on that the other day when I think you had a picture posted or something. She's like, "Oh, yeah. Ian has a Gilmour block too."
There's some good ones.
Mike, you were saying before the Wheels on the Bus?
Yeah, that kind of derailed the whole thing, didn't it?
I think you were asking Ian something.
Yeah, no, you guys also for a while there did a podcast, and now it's changed over to Fun Balanced.
Yeah.
What is that?
It's still kind of the same thing. It started off as Infectious Play, where when for a while Ian and I were working in the same office, we shared some office space here in town, and we Wednesdays we would do coffee chat where we just drank an entire pot of coffee, and the show lasted as long as the coffee lasted. And then on Fridays we would do like a play a game just to make sure we were playing new stuff every week for research.
Yep.
That structure was so much fun.
The coffee pot in the upper right would go down as you poured. It would go down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, if you could control whenever the podcast ends by drinking coffee, if someone starts bringing up something that you think is boring, you just reach for the coffee and start.
There were a few times where I downed an entire cup real quick. either because of meetings or something else going on, or bathroom.
That's funny.
Watching you guys. So that's a thing. And now, if you can find Fun Balance, there's a Discord. I know you go live different times throughout the week, and then
every Thursday night.
A good host would put a link in the descriptions. A good co-host would get the link for the other co-hosts.
You know who our guests were.
I know. We'll put it in there after the show, promise.
I'm the reason we're late every Monday. You're the reason there's no links in any of the show notes.
That's fair.
Okay, good. So, Ian, what do you do?
I am also a game designer, not developer. I develop under duress usually if I have to. But John loves development. I love design. But I worked on some games with John, like the expansion to Dinosaur Island. And then Duelosaur Island was my own creation that John developed. So still very hand in hand there. And then went on to do games like Wonderland's War. And now I work for Nerdvana Games, where I'm currently we made an RPG called Bunkers and Badasses, which is the science fantasy RPG set in the Borderlands video game universe, which was a weird and a crazy thing to have happen.
You know what? After my partner Aaron and I created our first game, Evil Intent, we went to start to make a new one where you create robots and stuff like that. And we wanted to call it Badass Doombots from Space. And so we asked like the Kickstarter group that we just got, like, what do you think of this? And they just like rampaged against putting badass as a title on a game. They were like, I can't put it on my shelf because my kids will see it, like all this stuff. And we were like, okay. And went to go change it and stuff. And like most designs, that game never got made. But when you said that, I was like, oh, okay. Did you get any backlash from the word badass?
Ian kind of stuck in sideways on that one.
Yeah. We kind of went around that by not doing crowdfunding, just kind of releasing on your own, and also just having it be like this already established thing within Borderlands. Yeah. So like in Borderlands, it was a DLC in the second Borderlands that they play the game Bunkers and Badasses. So it was kind of like it was built in already. So we didn't have to like justify it. It was kind of the other way around. Really get justified as using it.
That makes sense. Yep. Yeah, you're already talking to an audience that's okay with that. Yeah. That's pretty cool. I still need to play Wonderland's War. I have this whole list of bag builders that I'm trying to do because I'm working on one. And of course you want to play as many as you can to make sure you're not copying or, you just want to steal. But that's inspired by. It's like the top on my, but I can't get a hold of it. So.
I've seen the newest Kickstarter is delivering now. I started seeing people get their copies with the expansions and the little base rings and everything, which are super cool.
Yay, Wonderland's War. Yeah, I know. I've watched videos.
I saw someone in the local. I'm part of some local like buy sell trade groups, right? In the marketplace of Facebook where you buy things. Someone has already put their sealed copy with all the new stuff up for sale in the buy sell trade.
At a reasonable price?
Oh, like $300 or something. I don't remember. I was like, you didn't even open it? And I doubt they'll realize that it's me that's asking them. They probably just got an extra copy and wanted to flip it.
Why is your kid hanging on the refrigerator?
If only he could use his words. Wonderland War is a favorite of a lot of people in the QSCon community, and that I remember was still in prototype 4 at the first con in 2019. And to see
I had to bring my version with like I think it was still had the separate regions. Like it wasn't all one board yet. There's like a middle board, and there were all the separate boards around it.
Yeah.
And then through a bunch of playtesting of that, we realized that that's too much space. Like even though it's modular and it kind of can fit whatever table, it doesn't fit any table when you do it that way.
It's really neat to see what that looked like, and the people that had played it in the first one getting the game and seeing what had come from it. It was really cool.
Yeah.
I'm laughing at the kid behind you. He's like pulling the rain off the fridge.
He stole the fridge magnet, and he's laughing as he goes in the living room.
Just ripping stuff off the fridge. That's great.
You're a lunatic.
Steven says I'd bring it to some con, but that box is not travel friendly.
Yeah.
Also correct. That was the other problem with the playtesting. Well, I didn't have all the minis, so it was just kind of standees for a lot of it. But yeah, it was a lot to haul around.
The great production, the poker chips and the game trays, and the way everything came out really unbelievably well.
Yeah.
Dave, what is this?
I want to know what Jonathan's.
Oh, my Unreal Tournament tag. Oh man, it's.
Oh,
I'm going to assume it was probably Johnny Rotten. It's been forever. I played a lot more on the very first one. It's been so long, but I think it was Johnny Rotten.
I played that for a while, but then it got to where people played it a lot more than me, and I got destroyed. So
yeah,
moved on.
So I only did LAN parties. So just like I know the general skill level of all of my friends.
I think the biggest non-MMO RPG that I ever got sucked into was Battlefield 2142. That one got really wrapped up into for a long time. But all right, so should we do the top 5 thing that we probably all did different stuff about? Top 5 games we would like to relearn.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so top 5 games we'd like to relearn. Well, let me ask, what did everybody think when you heard the title? What did you do?
So what I did is I went through my plays on BGG and looked at games that I had played hundreds of times and haven't played in years. So stuff I played a ton way back in the day. It's tough because I never remember rules. So basically every time I play a game, I'm relearning it.
That's what happens when you read the rule book to people.
Yeah. Listen, Tara likes it, so it's perfect.
Oh, that is a match then.
Yeah, she's like, as long as you don't care that I don't listen to it. And I was like, listen, this is better than teaching a game to Jim and Ian. So,
so you read the rule book out loud for other people to learn from, or just
that's how I learn a game. Like if I'm teaching a new game, like I go through the rule book and read it out. Like,
set up
instead of just sitting there silently for half an hour.
Right. I've had people read the rules out loud to me, and it just goes in one ear and out the other.
Oh, that's what happens every time.
But if they read the paragraph and then go, okay, you do this and this talking to me, I get it immediately. It's this weird, like, if you read from a book, I don't hear it. Or if it's Mike, I don't hear it.
Yeah, so at the end of the show, what you're saying is I need to just summarize what our show is about, and then you'll listen to me. Yep.
Yeah.
It was a good summary. It was a good job. That's good.
Mike, how did you cheat at the list we're about to do?
There was no cheating. I went back to because I started playing games with Arkham Horror back in 2009, and really jumped into the deep end and started playing a bunch of stuff. So I went back to everything on my list is 10 years or older. I didn't want to do anything.
Majority of mine are 10 years or older.
And being in the industry and playing games, anything new, you're relearning it, but it's more of a refresher than relearning. So I went back to nothing newer than 10 years and stuff that I remember really enjoying and really having a good time with, but couldn't tell you how anything with it goes. So it would be an actual.
Woof, a couple of mine are 20 years old.
Wow. Cool.
Wow.
I don't know if any of these are 10 years old at least. I think these are all newer.
Yeah, same here. I've got a few older, but I don't think 10 or older. Yeah. So that'll be interesting. Yeah, mine are ones that I might have played like a couple times, thought, oh, this is good. And then there was a flood of new games behind it. And so I just didn't get back to it. And now I'm like, I thought, if I take this off the shelf, can I play it? Or do I have to open up the rule book? More than just setup. Because there's a lot of games you have to go, how many cards do I put out for? You know, that kind of thing. If I have to thumb through the rule book and go, oh, right, you do this and that, that's where I.
Yeah, mine was focused on more than like even games that I played like over the weekend. I would open up the rule book and be like, where do these go? How many cards? Where do they like more setup refresher? These were actually like I would need to relearn the rules, but I do remember having a great time playing it. So
mine are all split. Like mine are either games that I want to evaluate to like stay in my collection, or like games that I know I like and I want to play more and I just haven't brought them back, or I have an expansion for them but I need to play the base game again, kind of thing.
I had a few of those.
Or years older, like John and I.
Oh, mine are new.
I almost had Castles of Burgundy on here. But I've been saying that for so long that I need to go back and do it that it just fell off the list because like I guess I don't really want to relearn it.
The new edition is really nice.
Yeah,
that's what I heard. If I had the access to that new edition, then I'd definitely relearn it.
It's so wild though. I don't like the acrylic tokens with it though, because the cardboard tiles in the new edition have all the abilities on the back of them, and the acrylic ones do not.
Oh,
and I was like, there's so many different, like you have to look up in the rulebook constantly that feature is so nice.
That's for people who just memorize the pictures and be like, I know what this does.
Yeah.
Can you take like the cardboard half that tells you what it does and put it together in resin and all that stuff? Yeah.
I luckily didn't back the acrylic tokens or the resin, whatever they were.
Interesting.
So
cool.
Yeah.
All right, let's dig into it. Who do we want to go first? Normally we do a guest first, but we got two now.
Ian, why don't you go first?
There you go.
There you go.
Okay.
You got volunteered. Number 5.
So let's take you back to the world of whenever this game came out. Actually, this was the oldest one on my list, and that is just because I have the newer edition of a game that was definitely older. So yeah, my number 5 is Dungeon Fighter.
Oh, great.
This one, the last time I played it was probably 2 years ago, maybe. Like when it first arrived, because I got the new edition, which is like big box, lots of stuff, and we played the very basic version of it because I wanted to see if it was something that like we could play with my daughter, who was probably like 5 at the time, and so I was like, it seems, because it's like dexterity fun. You're bouncing the dice onto the little board to hit the things for however much damage that you land on. The issue is that we were just all very bad at it. So it's like you have to bounce it off the table and then onto the board, and then once it's on the board, that's how much damage you do. But the board has like holes in it, and then also there are just chances that you just overshoot or go anywhere else, and that is mostly what we did. So we were having a really difficult time progressing in the game when we were playing it with just the basic version. So we were like, there's also a bunch of, you can see there's like weird rules that sometimes you have to follow on your shots based on what monster you're fighting. So that one is like someone else is holding your hand when you're trying to throw it onto the thing, or you have to spin around in a circle before throwing it, or like you have to throw it, but like from under you had to be under the table and like go over the top of the table, which is great for like if you for kids, right? Like this is a really fun, like memorable moment. But it also makes it more difficult to complete the game and progress, which we were having trouble with. So I want to go back because I do have this big edition with all these expansions, all this stuff in it. And I've really only just barely scratched the surface of what the game has to offer. I just want to go back and see if what it has to offer is just more difficult ways to play the game, or if it's just more fun the other ways to play it. You know what I mean? Like I want to see if it's one of those two.
Interesting.
Dungeon Party is similar. So Steven says.
I love this one. I love the challenge. I love the stupid fun with it. You always feel like garbage when it gets into the hole. You get it on the you get the cheer that you bounced it properly and it hits the board, but then it just wiggles enough to fall into the hole. And
Yeah. If I don't like it, I'll send it to Jim, our friend John, nice friend Jim, because he'll love it.
Jim? I love Jim.
Yeah. He's the dexterity guy. He's the one that would not care that this has these crazy difficulty spikes or whatever it is, or we're just bad at it. Like,
well, some of them are really challenging. Like one of them, you have to hold a card like horizontally but up off the table, and you got to bounce it over the card, or table twice, or some of them are definitely difficult. And then it gives you the little choice of like when you're in the dungeon, do you take the quick way and just go, or do you take the long way because you want to hit the bazaar to get some cool stuff that's going to help you improve your rolls and stuff? So a little bit of choice in the co-op nature of it anyway. That's a good one.
Nice.
Yeah.
John.
So my first one's the newest one on my list, and it's Core Worlds. Designed by Andrew Parks, published by Stronghold Games.
How do you spell that?
CoreWorlds.
Oh, my hat.
And Andrew he got the rights back and he just kickstarted a new game, but it's not the same game, which is weird. But this is a deck builder, and it was kind of in the early days of the deck builders. But it took a really unique aspect to it. Like you were building up units, and the units kind of stayed in play until you decided to invade a planet, and then like you would spend units to invade planets, and then they would cycle back into your deck. It's just a really neat design, a lot of fun, very, very thematic, and just like a very nice deck builder.
Oh yeah, that's that 2011 graphic design right there.
Yeah.
And you said this was the newest one on your list?
Yeah.
Wow. We're gonna have different lists. I have this game. It's on the shelf. It's actually in the closet. Of shame, if you want to, or opportunity, whichever one you want to use it. But that's interesting.
Yeah, it's really good.
You recommending at least looking at it would make me put it on the shelf of shame. If you're on the shelf of shame so long, you go to the closet of shame.
I used to have a storage unit of shame. That's when we got rid of that.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. Did Mike?
All right. I'm gonna go with
your fifth favorite. This is an order of favorites, right?
You shut your mouth. I'm gonna go with the newest one on my list. Then it's from 2013. Can I get my hat back? Oh, thank you so much, buddy. Thank you.
The rest of mine are newer than 2013.
I did find out at one of mine is 10 years ago, which is crazy, or 11 now.
Oh, wow.
All right, so 2013. I'm going to say this one first because there was something just announced from Simon about a new or a reiteration of it, but it's a study in Emerald.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, I'm really excited for that.
The Neil Gaiman one.
Yeah, Martin Wallace, based on Neil Gaiman. So I love Cthulhu-based stuff. I played this a long time ago. I played the first edition from 2019. That's the second edition that they did 2 years later because that was necessary.
That still had the same printing errors in it that the first edition had, I think.
It still had this, yeah. I remember really enjoying it. And it was still early in my. What are you doing to me right now? I remember really enjoying it, and it was a fun group we were playing with, but I really didn't. I was still new to like all things board games, like especially that deep of a board game. But I couldn't tell you anything else about it. So with the Simon one coming out now, that's supposed to be a streamlined version or whatever. I want to go back and learn this one so I can wrap my head back around the story and get ready for the game that's coming out, I guess, in November or planning to come out in November. What are you doing?
This is
kind of the opposite. I want to play it, and it's the opposite of why Michael has played it, which is I don't care. I don't like Cthulhu things for the most part. Most of the time, I'm not a fan of Cthulhu themes. But when Neil Gaiman is involved, I will push all of that aside, and I will jump in like wholeheartedly.
Yeah,
I trust Neil Gaiman.
You're such a huge Martin Wallace fan.
I think I have a Martin Wallace game.
Yeah, I think you have the Clouds one, right?
Yeah, Via Nebula.
I didn't really like that one that much, and I do like a lot of Martin Wallace games.
I liked it at I've only really played it at like 2 players. And I think it was fun at 2 players. Like there was enough going on. I think it like cuts the board up a bit. Where I don't remember much about that game, but I do remember being like, I liked this when I played it at 2 players.
Studying Emerald, though, I have this version, the second one, and I love this game. That it does suffer from some graphic design issues, like icons and stuff, and it makes it kind of difficult to play. So I really hope they streamline that bit of it. But I think the rules are pretty solid.
I mean,
I love that
graphic design is pretty on point.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I love that you're either on Cthulhu's team or Sherlock Holmes's team, and human team, and you don't know who's on what team and stuff is going on. It's pretty cool. Yeah, good pick.
Yeah, I haven't both. I haven't played the second edition, but I remember really enjoying it. And it's funny because Martin Wallace has 2 Cthulhu-based games, right? I think Australia is also Martin Wallace, and that's Cthulhu-based.
Mm-hmm.
Weird.
Which I haven't played that one, but I remember really liking this one. I don't know if it was gameplay. I don't know if it was because I was still new to, wow, what the hell is going on the table? If it was the story, I like Neil Gaiman, so there were things that kind of blended for me. So with the announcement of the new one,
Did he tell anyone that Australia is Cthulhu based? Because I would have never forgotten that from the name or I think the cover of that game.
Yeah, it's spelled like AUZ, right? I thought it was zombie themed.
There's a Cthulhu in the background on the cover or something, right?
Yeah, there's a big like shadow of Cthulhu in the background of the front cover.
Oh.
I'm sorry, I don't think it's the shadow. I think it's in the binoculars of the guy on the cover.
Yeah, he's like doing this, and you can see him. And I think there's a mini on the back or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Subtle.
All right. So mine is I wonder if anybody's heard of this one. Because this one's 11 years now. Came out in 2013. This one's called The Capitals.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Mercury. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, John likes that game.
Yeah,
I just never see it anywhere, right? And I played this tons and tons when it first came out. I think it was a Kickstarter, actually.
Yeah.
And then as you do, you learn new games, and it stops being played for a little while. And when I went back to it, I remember I pulled it out, I put the board out, and I said, I have no idea how to play this game. Like everything just left. I didn't even know how to set it up. So, but I remember loving the game.
That's the one that has like the cross street pieces, right? That go between the tiles.
Let me see if I can find the board here. That's not. Yeah, hold on. I have horrible pictures. Yeah, that's not helpful at all. Whole bunch of cards. Thanks. These are awful.
I saw the pieces. I didn't see them in. Oh, there they go.
Yeah, there we go. Sort of. Yeah, that's the biggest.
No, the one before that was.
Well, yeah, that's a little better. But yeah, it's got all this like you're building a city. You got these different cards that go together, and they influence things, and like they influence each other where you put them together. It's hard to describe it whenever you haven't learned. You need to relearn it again, but. I remember it having all this cool balance, like, all right, I've got this going, but now this is sinking, so I got to fix this, and now this is, it's got this great, like, civilization, not building, but maintaining, like you're maintaining you're kind of building it too, I guess, with the cards, but
I think I traded it off because I hated that the roads didn't connect in the middle.
Like that one little bit?
That one little bit ruined it for me.
That's funny. I mean,
I remember I played this with you, John, and then I have absolutely no memories of what it was like at all.
Yeah, I don't know if I can remember any of the mechanics besides the street things.
I remember really liking a lot of parts of it, and I would love to see it kind of, you know, reshaped a little bit with today's design methods, and then put out. Yeah, so
Miniatures everywhere. The roads become miniature roads. They're plastic.
Are they actually?
And they connect like 1/5 scale.
I mean, you got me. I'm in.
That's the expansion. The little roads that connect in the middle.
Yeah.
That's all you have to buy is the expansion. All right, so number 4. We want to keep going around. Go back to Ian.
Whatever, either way.
Yeah, let's do it.
Sure. So my number 4 is Now or Never, which is the latest, the third game in like the Above and Below, Near and Far trilogy from Ryan Lockett and Red Raven Games.
I like to call it the Grover trilogy.
Sure.
Near? Far.
Now, never. So I have played this one, I think, once when I received it. And I remember I liked it. Like I wanted to play it, but there was a thing with like Above and Below and Near and Far both had like campaigns, and I didn't play much of the Above and Below campaign. I did play that game like 6-7 times probably, and so it was like obviously I'm going to get Near and Far. And then Near and Far, we played through the campaign like twice in 2 different times with 2 different groups. And this one also has a campaign, but I never started it. Like we just played just game 1, which it tells you to play it first and then jump into the campaign, which for me is always like play it first and then put it on your shelf for a while and then remember it has a campaign later. Like you got to start me off with the campaign or I am not, or you lose me immediately. But yeah, and so like what I remembered this one because I recently got back into Sleeping Gods because I kept wanting to be like, oh crap, I need to play Sleeping Gods because I'm getting the new one. Like I already backed Distant Skies and I'm getting Primeval Peril with it. We should go through Sleeping Gods again. And we didn't do that. But instead, when Distant Skies and Primeval Peril showed up, my partner and I, we sat and played through Primeval Peril, which is the version of the game that I'm going to like let anyone in the world borrow because it is like a one-sitting version of Sleeping Gods, basically. Like it takes 2.5 hours, but you play through like higher story of that one. It's like a smaller version. It's really cool. Like all the mechanics are compact and like that they all fit together, and you still feel like you get the big story moments and you know what you're looking for kind of thing. So we played through that and I was like, this is great. And then so now we did start going over in Sleeping Gods again. But then when the holidays came around, we had to pack it up because Julia's parents were coming for the holidays, and so we had to. We wanted the table to play actual games. But like when we come back, I'm like, oh, I should also maybe break this one out and go through the campaign. I remember there being like the combat in this though. There's some enemies that are just like, I feel like if I'll just die if I try to fight this. Like even when I'm like maxed out on everything, because everything hits simultaneously, the amount of health that I have and the amount of damage that it does, even reduced, is going to kill me before I can kill it.
I think that's a lot of the combats and stuff in his, at least the newer stuff like Sleeping Gods and stuff. It feels overwhelming at first, and then you start to feel like
we were always so worried about our story decisions and being like, oh, is this going to get us into a fight? Like, I really don't want to fight. So we'd like look at the visual clues on the map and be like, okay, so this one has like these giant bones sticking out of the water. That's probably not great. We should probably not go to that one. Let's go over here where there's just like these rocks jutting up. Like maybe it's just like a landmark or something. And then he tricked us because that one was the combat. I was like, no.
That's great.
Oh, we lost John for a second. Oh, there he is.
Sorry.
Yeah, Now or Never is another one of the great Ryan Lockett games. I will always instantly back Ryan Lockett games because I feel like the systems that are in play in those games are fantastic. Like I always feel the emotions that the game wants me to feel, especially stress.
I missed this one. This is the only one of his I don't have, actually, I think.
Yeah.
Even the small box, yeah. Yeah. All right, we keep losing John. I don't know if that's on purpose or not. We can let him figure out that connection and skip over to Mike, who's...
Oh, yeah, he said he's going to be right back.
Okay, good. So, well, Mike is herding his kid around, so I can let you take care of that, and I'll do mine, and we'll come back to you and John.
No, I don't know what he's doing. I can talk about my next one quickly.
Okay, go ahead.
It's also from 2013.
Okay.
So I'm gonna keep it there. I got the new edition, which apparently they cleaned up and made a little more streamlined some of the stuff. But you want more applesauce?
I want more applesauce.
Applesauce? Yes.
Same.
Good.
Yeah.
What's your game so I can look it up?
It's called Carnival Zombie.
What?
I remember playing the first one and I loved it. I love what it was doing. I like the threat management. It's co-op. It takes place in Venice. I was in Venice in 2008, so it kind of hit
when the zombie outbreak hit. Yeah.
Zombie outbreak hit. Yeah. I remember everything. I remember how the game felt and played. It just the first iteration with the rule book was really bad.
I got bad news for you.
The second one's as bad?
Maybe even worse.
Oh, fuck. Great.
All right.
Well,
I kind of dig this art.
No, there's a lot to like about it. So go back one picture.
Oh, sure. That one?
Yeah. No, one forward one. So one of the really fun mechanics is whenever you kill the zombies in it, you have to drop them onto this little cardboard placard that's held up by cubes. And you drop your cubes from like an inch above, and any zombies that fall off respawn. So like that's the respawn mechanic for the zombies.
That's fun.
Yeah.
So real Euro, just real dry.
Real Euro. Yeah.
Just pushing cubes off.
I mean, it's weird. The rest of the game is pretty Euro-y.
Yeah, it felt I had played Stronghold, I think, Ignacio's game.
Yeah.
It had a little bit like it had some similar stuff with that, like the Venn diagram kind of crossed over a lot with how that felt, which I really love. I still love. And okay, buddy. And this one. But I remember just really having a hard time trying to figure out how this exactly worked. So I was hopeful for the second one, but now I kind of want to cross this one off my list.
I have played the new one 4 times, I think, and I don't think I've played it correctly any of them.
Oh, great. That's awesome. Cool.
So it's your fault, is what you're saying. That
Oh,
that you didn't like it. Yeah.
100%.
I feel like this is such an interesting theme. Like,
Yep.
it would be a bummer if it wasn't good. Like the jury's still out, but I feel like this theme should be
very good stuff.
Yeah.
So your heroes are in the center of the board there, and the zombies are all coming in from the different quadrants. And you go between a day phase where you're moving around the map on the top left-hand side, and then at night you have to defend wherever you're at, and then the zombies are all coming in, and then you have to survive the night, and then you travel again. So it does some really neat stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was that defense thing that kind of reminded me of the Stronghold. Trying to defend the castle, just Stronghold. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Again, it was early. It's over 10 years now, but I remember the art. I remember the gameplay. I remember the feeling. The only real thing that was a hiccup was the confusion in the rule book. But we really did enjoy the time trying to play it and what it was doing. So I wanted to until John said that.
I'll bring it to Keystone. I'll try it again.
Just scratches it out. John's just gonna make everyone scratch out all their games that they.
Yeah, that one's bad.
I'm the ruiner.
Games I don't want to play after talking to John. That's our next up.
usually that's not John. Usually we ruin things for John. This is great. This is the.
I mean,
reversal.
all that being said, I've played the new edition 4 times, which is more than a lot of better games that have come out in the last few years.
Right.
But there's something there that's really attractive.
Cool. Well, yeah, that was my next one.
All right, John, we come back to you.
Yeah. So my next one is Snow Tales.
Okay.
Tails.
Is it 2 words though?
Yeah, 2 words.
Probably.
Yeah, because it is about dog sled racing.
Oh right.
Yeah.
I've seen this one.
It's my
This is a
favorite.
Renegade game?
They have the newest edition, yeah.
Oh.
Because I think Boardgames went out of business, who was the original publisher. Yeah, it's my favorite math-based dog sled racing game, is what I often say. You're playing cards onto your sled. You have 3 slots. You have a left dog, a right dog, and a brakes. And your speed is the left dog plus the right dog minus the brake card. But then how much you turn is the difference between the left card and the right card. So you're trying to like manipulate your board to like make the corners and stuff, but also keep your speed up. It's really interesting.
Yeah, left dog goes 4, right dog goes 2. You're going left 2.
Yeah.
I love Fragor games. I've talked about them on other shows. I think Spellbound is one of my favorites of theirs. I used to look forward to, I remember watching the Essen show at like 4 a.m. when I first got into it, and watching them show up and what costume they were going to be in. And when Dragon Scroll was a thing, one of them was in a dragon like onesie. I loved the stuff that they did because it always seemed unique and outside the box and something different, and small production, right, with high quality stuff like the mold, the clay stuff that they used to make. And Snowtails, it's the way that works with the brakes was really it's a good one.
It's real good.
Kabuki Cat says that it should be rethemed to a pod racer game.
That would be amazing. That would be amazing.
Yeah, and it would make me want to play it even more.
That's a great idea. Jeez.
Yeah, that's cool. I've seen that many times, and people talk highly about it. So, is that the new cup?
No, that's the middle edition of it, not the first or the third. But yeah, and I think that's
the new edition. They reverted back to the weird cover art
with the dog.
Beth Sobel did the cover art.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. You want animals drawn, right?
Yeah, nature.
Or anything drawn, for that matter. She's one of my favorite. Yeah, good choice. Going on to me. My number 4 is a big game. A lot of people like it. I'll talk about it. It's Anachrony. So I got this game. I got the giant Kickstarter version, but not the most epic version or something. Like I've got the minis, but I don't have the thing that the minis sit in that are also minis or whatever that is.
The robots.
Yeah, but you know, it was. I enjoyed playing it. The problem is it was a big learn, like a huge learn, right?
Oh yeah.
And I remember just like being drained, like really, yeah, those are the robots. Like really drained after playing a game and thinking that was a really cool game. I need to play it again soon. And then stuff happens, and it really only took like a week or so before I was like, oh no, now I don't remember how to play, which is unusual for me. I usually remember for a while, but I shoved a bunch of other ones in there. And then, and so I came back to it and I looked at rule book and I was just like, I just can't do it right now. I can't go back into that rule book right now. And it just went longer and longer. And it's been years. I played it right whenever I got it. So I haven't played it since, and I keep wanting to play it. Yeah, Exosuits, that's what they were called.
Yeah, I need to revisit my copy. I think it was maybe one of the first games I played at Gathering, the very first year I went. It's my favorite. It's one of my favorite time travel games, and it's weird because the time travel element is just alone for the most part, but it's so well done.
Yeah, Peter, we need to when I come up there for LA or next time we sit together and game, we'll put this on the table. Yeah, I don't know why I stopped on that picture. That's not a fun picture. I mean, the whole concept was really good, but I mean, yeah.
I never ended up playing this one. John, you had one of the boxes as like a prototype box for forever. There was just always a different game in there. It was never Anachrony, but it was.
That's funny.
Let's see if it's still on my prototype shelf. Yeah, I don't know. Nope. I don't know what game was in it.
Oh,
But yeah, it was there for a long
a big
time.
one.
That's funny. Yeah, so that's my number 4. So going back to Ian, what's your number 3?
So my number 3 is also a newer game. This is weird. This is like my whole list. But it is a game that I technically just didn't finish my first play. So I need to go back and relearn it because we started playing it, didn't get to the end.
Is this the one I'm thinking of that you didn't get to the end of because you had a child?
No, it's not that one. That was an older game, John.
That is older. You're right.
So no, this one's Marvel Age of Heroes.
Oh.
So one of my like first favorite game when I got into games was Lords of Waterdeep. That was like introduction to worker placement and being like theme can match, like IPs can make games that aren't bad, which, coming from like video games, it's usually not the case. You're just like, oh, that doesn't happen. But yeah, and so this is kind of like a re-implementation of that with the X-Men, which it says Marvel Age of Heroes, but it's an X-Men game. But it was a weird learn because a lot of the things just work differently. Like it is similar, but the way that they moved everything around just made it like you're basically starting from scratch, even though Lords of Waterdeep, right? So it was not the easiest to learn the first time. We got about halfway through it, and then I think we had to go, pick up our kid from school or something that day. And so we had to stop. We had to like pack it up and everything. But it has some. I remember it having some neat like twists on the thing too, because as you can see here, you aren't just a faction or whatever of the X-Men. You are 2 X-Men. So in this case, you would be Forge and Storm is your team. And you would have some number of, you'd have like 3 Storm pawns and 3 Forge pawns, which usually just act like workers. But once you start getting upgrades, you can actually upgrade your Storm workers or your Forge workers so that whenever you place that specific one, you get this specific bonus, or they'll do this specific thing. So it kind of has this nice twist where you can upgrade your workers, but it's not like all of your workers do this thing. You have these like specialized half of your workers. And so you have like Gambit and Rogue are a team. I think it's Colossus and Magic. No, Magic's by herself. I think she's the only one that just doesn't play well with others.
Makes sense.
Weird. Yeah. I think it's Colossus and like Kitty Pryde or something. And then there's a few teams, and then you're going up against you choose one of the storylines to play through. So you're either playing like the Horsemen of Apocalypse or like Age of Apocalypse, or you're playing through like Children of the Atom or something like that. And so depending on which one you pick is like the enemies that you have to go through to get to the big bad. But the enemies are just like the quest things in Lords of Waterdeep. So you have like, you have 3, you have to spend 3 red cubes, 2 yellow cubes, and a blue cube, right? And then you deal damage to the boss kind of thing. So it's more abstracted. So some people who are just like, who want that really like, want it to be more thematic than it is, would bounce off of it. But for me, I went in knowing that it was going to be Lords of Waterdeep-esque, where that part is going to be abstracted. But I had fun with the rest of it.
I've really been looking hard at this one, so I'm glad to hear that you liked it.
Yeah. I just need to go back and relearn it because it's Lords of Waterdeep, but they do everything so differently that like knowing Lords of Waterdeep intimately does not help.
It was real pricey when it came out, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's possible. I forget how much games cost as soon as they're in the cart, and
Yeah.
it just
I think that's the one thing that kept me away
receipt.
from it, is not knowing anybody who had played it.
Yeah.
It's got the acrylic pieces.
Yeah. The acrylic standees are really nice. And
I feel like
the little like 2-piece boards for all the enemies are cool.
I feel like they said, how are we going to get people to play with Jubilee? Oh, I know. Let's
How
combine her
dare
with
you.
Wolverine.
How dare you? Jubilee is one of my
Brown
favorite
and yellow
characters.
too.
Is she really?
Yeah.
Okay. I
You
don't
can
mind
see
the
too
character.
that
It's the power. It's the power that's.
they are a bit asymmetric because as you see in this one, it's not 3 and 3. You have like 4 Wolverines and 2 Jubilees. So like some of them, I think the one of them is just like there's like 2 Forges and 4 Storms also, whereas like Jean Grey and Cyclops is like 3 and 3. So there's a bit of asymmetry even before you are like doing the upgrades and stuff, which I thought.
And that's the other thing.
Had a lot
Storm's
going
awesome.
for it.
Yeah, Storm's awesome. And Forge is, let's say, lesser known. Let's use that.
But also amazing. One of my favorite. Another favorite.
Great
I
Marvel
gotta-
Snap card.
I gotta say though, looking at the artwork would kind of like if it's X-Men, I'm in my head it's Jim Lee artwork, and anything less than Jim Lee is kind of like it's okay, it's good artwork and stuff, but when I think X-Men and stuff like that, that's what I want to see. I'd love to see that kind of work.
Yeah.
So it is WizKids. So like the acrylic standees are just like screen caps of the HeroClix characters models.
You like that, yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I think it has a kind of like this cool like watercolor art to it,
More?
which was unique in like all the other Marvel stuff. Like none of the other Marvel games that are like really kind of look like this one, which I also liked.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. All right. Before I make too many enemies about Jubilee, let's see. Where are we? That was your number 3. So John, you're number 3.
So my number 3 is Glory to Rome by Carl Juliet.
Nice.
I've got 2 copies. I've got the Black Bots and the original edition, and I know, but it's one of my favorites. And for some reason,
made me play this one.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You made me play that version, and you had the black box version. You monster.
Yeah, look how good that art is. It's fantastic. Look at him. He's
It's
beautiful.
the worst thing I've ever. It's the worst thing I've ever touched.
Look at that latrine. Yeah, Board Game Rundown says they have the clamshell. That's that's my favorite version of it. As much as I like the black bots, but yeah, for some reason I enjoy Moat and I, but not as much as Glory to Rome, and it's weird because BGG listed as a re-implementation, and I really don't think it is. And I even have the expansions for both versions, which are really hard to come by. It's just one of my favorites.
Nice. Yeah, I played this for the first time last year in LA when I went to visit Peter Vaughn.
Nice.
Yeah,
I'm still
I
salty
enjoyed
about
it. I enjoyed it. You would rather play this version, Ian?
Yes, absolutely. The version that doesn't just look like they just pick someone off the street and be like, "You can do art, right?" And they're like, "Uh-huh."
Yeah.
I'm very sorry that I didn't open up my unopened copy of the $400 board game so you could play with slightly better art.
You're so is that the one that you're going to seal in acrylic and just look at and then pretend how much fun you could have playing it?
No, that is my backup. That is my backup copy. I want to keep it as in good condition because it'll never see a reprint ever.
Hold on, I'm just going to make a note to myself next time I go to your house.
Find
Find the old Glory to Rome. No, find the old Glory to Rome and burn it.
I would love to find that version. It's super hard to find, but the Gloria a Roma is very, very good.
Huh. Yeah, I could see why everybody loved it. I enjoyed it.
So over the weekend, we were playing a bunch of board games, and Corey Thompson told me that Glory to Rome, there's Uchronia by Yellow is similar.
Well, so it's interesting if you don't know the full story behind it. So Uchronia is not just similar; it's a completely stolen version of Glory to Rome. Even though Carl Chudiet's listed as the designer, but like the interesting thing is, it's so lifted that there are typos on the cards in the rule book that exist in Glory to Rome that made it into Uchronia.
Oh. That's funny. So anytime someone says, "Hey, there's a typo in your game," you just say, "That's the
It's
catch."
there for a reason.
Yeah. I just found a typo today.
He also mentioned there was another one that's similar to Glory of the Room.
Moat and I is pretty similar.
That's the one.
Which is also by Charles Chudiak. But
right.
For some reason, it doesn't do the same things to me that Glory of the Room does.
Just with the art.
It doesn't have the art.
All right, good to know.
Nice. Mike, what's your number 3?
Oh, yeah, me.
Or any random game you want to play.
I do my list. You do your list.
I numbered mine. This works.
So I got to go back to 2012, I guess, huh?
Oh, look, you said yours were all new.
No, I said all mine were over 10 years.
Oh, okay. I wasn't listening.
You really don't listen to me.
You got to summarize.
I'll summarize.
It's not you. It's just that once you start talking, I'm like, oh, I better take care of these comments over here. I'm doing the other co-hosting thing. You're
not you. I've heard it before. It's not you. It's me. Yep.
No, it's not me. I'm just saying it's not you.
I don't know why I come back on Mondays. I really don't.
Because you love it. All right, what's your number 3?
All right, I'm gonna go with Fantastica.
Oh, okay.
So it was 2012, and they came out with the Enchanted Edition, which was basically the regular edition of the game. And then the following year or 2 years after, they came out with the Rucksack Edition, which they took some of the ephemera out. They made it a smaller box. But I remember playing this game, and it hit so hard the first time I played it that I played it for a long time, constantly for a long time. I loved the way the deck building worked. I loved the way the walking around the board worked and how you had to have certain things to do the certain things at the certain locations. But other than that, like I don't remember how it plays or anything else about it. I just remember loving the art. I loved the gameplay. And I played it a lot when it first came out. So this one, it's been a favorite of mine. I just recently picked up a used copy of the Rucksack Edition at Millennium Games on the way back. I think it was Gen Con maybe, that had the playmat. I didn't even know it had a playmat. Hi, buddy. How are you? Thank you. That was nice. So, yeah, Fantastica. They came out with the Rivals. It was a little card game where you had it was a smaller footprint and you had to hop around the card. The different locations were the cards that you put out. But I remember this game being just a hit every time I played it. So,
this is one of those games. You know how there's a lot of games that get a lot of hype. Everybody loves the game and stuff, and then you play it, and just for some reason it just doesn't hook you. That was the case for me on this one, but I can understand why some people like it. But yeah, I should give it another try though.
I really love it. I love the art. The art was whimsical. It had really cool, from what I remember, it had really cool mechanisms. But the game changed each time we played it, right? Because of certain cards or certain goal cards or certain ability cards. It would change the way the game played and the way you had to go around and do the different things to complete whatever the quest was. Really, really enjoyed this one.
I've never seen that before.
I've seen it, but I've never played it. But now I'm gonna have to hunt down a copy because that sounds amazing.
I have one.
The art's beautiful. Like it had real art, like it was fantastical art, but it had real art from.
Unlike that fake art.
You got a Wonderlands war, John? I'll switch it for you.
I'm keeping my Wonderlands war.
I'm sure you could find another.
This one was good. The chunky bits, the art, I remember everything about this game being fun. The Rucksack Edition is the same. You can get the Rucksack Edition. The Enchanted Edition is more expensive and harder to find because I think it was only printed for a year. So the Rucksack Edition is easier to get, but it's missing some of the ephemera that would come with like basically a deluxe edition of a game, but it still did the same thing. So
okay.
Cool. All right. So my number 3, I know this one just had a new edition that came out, but I have the old edition and I like the old edition. I just don't remember how to play La Granja.
Oh, Granja.
Lagrangia, however it's said. I'm not authority on how that should be pronounced.
Los Angeles Grania.
I do remember we played this game maybe 4 or 5 times within, 2 or 3 weeks because we liked this game so much. And then, moved on and then came back to it and opened it up and started trying to set it up and couldn't remember what did what. Because it has all these little different parts to it. You got to remember how this section works and how this section works, and it all ties together. It's a great game. By my memory, yeah, it's a great game by my memory of enjoying it, but I don't remember it well enough to play it again. So I really would like to hop into it. And whenever I saw the next edition of it, I thought, well, maybe I should get that and relearn it and stuff. But yeah, have any of you played it?
I've played No Siesta, but not the actual game. I haven't. And I've meant to play it for a long time.
Yeah, I haven't played Siesta one.
It's nice.
That's kind of like a smaller
rolling, right?
Yeah.
I have never played this.
It
It looks like the kind of thing John would try to get me to play.
I'm pretty sure it was in that tub in the office, the tub of opportunity that we always said we were going to play.
It's got a lot of that different, like, oh, am I going to work on this part and this part and this part and leave these parts alone? Or am I going to try to do everything equal? Or, all that different, very Euro-y. I guess it's a peg pusher, right? Instead of cubes.
The only thing I know about is that you have the option, which I love, like dual use cards. You can use the cards for sliding under your board on the bottom or under your board on the top, and it gives you different things. I love that.
Yeah,
as a game designer.
here, there, or all 4 different places. Yeah, you put it up here, you put it here. Yeah. The only thing I'll say about it is I don't remember it being a hard decision. Like, whenever this is the case, whenever you do something like that with a card, I like it whenever I'm like, oh, do I do this with it or do I do that with it? And usually I was just like, oh, well, definitely going to do this with that. It was just like, now that doesn't mean that card would have a different purpose in a different game where I'm building a different way.
Right.
That's the only thing I remember that I wasn't crazy about with the cards is that when I saw this at first, I was hoping for that kind of feel, but Grania. That's my number 3. Number 2, Ian.
Number 2. So this is one that actually was one of those times where John would have that tub of games in the corner that he wanted to play through, and then I would bring in whatever I got from Kickstarter that week, so we didn't have to.
How dare you?
Yeah.
But my number 2 is Escape Plan. It is. Yeah, it is.
We almost had a crossover.
Tara and I played that on Christmas Eve.
Oh, nice. I remember nothing about how to play it.
I didn't either.
So I had really, I had played the Gallerist like I think the year or 2 before, because someone was like, "Hey, it's 1 a.m. Do you want to play the Gallerist?" And I said yes because
that was me.
Dumb. Yeah, it was John. And so I did, and I was like, "This was worth it." It was great, and I love the Gallerist. I still don't have the Gallerist. So this game is on my list because I have since purchased a couple of Lacerda games. I bought this one, and we did get to play it. I think we actually played it on Infectious Play on one of our live streams, and that was the only time that we played it. And I want to play it. I want to play it again for that. And then also I got On Mars, which I never opened, and I just have sealed in the garage in hopes that like someone will be like, man, I have the Gallerist. I really want On Mars. And I can be like, ugh, and just like throw it at them. And then once I get out of jail for crushing someone to death with a game because it's so heavy, I will then hopefully have a copy of the Gallerist waiting for me. But yeah, this one seemed to be like where you would have the Lacerda thing of crazy Euro sensibilities, but with a really cool theme. And yeah, I really liked my play of it. I think the Gallerist is still probably my favorite of all the ones that I've played. I know, John, you and I, we played Lisboa after like 3 tries of trying to learn Lisboa and play it.
Yeah.
But Escape Plan was we played it on the first try, and I played the Gallerist probably 3 or 4 times since. But yeah, I really want to relearn it because I remember nothing about it, and I want to see if I need to go out and get the Gallerist, or if this can be my Lacerda game that I keep, because I don't know that I need more than one or have room for more than one. But
as a wedding present to ourselves, because when Ian still lived in Ohio, we were taking turns backing Lacerda games.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Yeah, and then when he moved, I was like, oh man, he had this one and On Mars. So as a wedding gift for ourselves, we went through and got the rest of them, because I think Eagle and Griffin had a big sale on all the Lacerda stuff at the time too. Like
you could have gotten the Gallerist.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Yeah, this was probably going to be my number 6 on here. So it was real close. And same deal as far as like I haven't played a lot of Lacerda and stuff. In fact, this is the only one I've played. And I want to go back. I went and bought, I've got the Weather Machine, I got the Gallerist, and I've got what's the one that looks like blue money? Lisboa? Yeah. So I got all the 3 of those in wrap sitting on my shelf of shame opportunity.
I will trade you 1 on Mars for 1 on the Gallerist.
Right. But, it's I know what it takes to learn these, and, you got to, all right, let's set aside a Saturday and Sunday to learn it.
Yeah.
To get into
this one was the easiest, I think, to learn.
Just have somebody read the rule book at you like I do. It's super easy.
Yeah, you say this is the easiest, but that's why I haven't come back to it, because I thought, man, this took a while to get into, and that's why I haven't dug into the other ones. But I remember loving it, just like you were talking about. Like, it was actually really good. But even this picture that I have up here, I'm like, I don't remember what that is.
Yeah,
I remember doing that, but I don't know what that is.
Yeah. That's the track for your not reputation, but like
for the cylinders.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the cylinder track, he calls it.
I do like cylinders.
Very official term.
Yeah.
Man, look at that art. Oh,
it's a good one.
The art and the graphic design on this one is
Great
amazing.
Art,
the art in the Gallerist, obviously just it's about art and stuff, which is great, but like the graphic design in the Gallerist was fantastic. That was like some of my favorite graphic design in a game, because it was so heavy, but like you immediately would just understand what things did, just because the graphic design was very clear.
Yeah. I think Weather Machine takes that graphic design even further. Like, I love the graphic design in Weather Machine.
That was the new one. Cool. Yeah, when Ryan Schoon was here for BGG Con, he asked if I wanted to come and play that, like to drive back to BGG Con after I left for the night and be like, hey, do you want to play Weather Machine? I was like, no, I don't want to be there for 4 more hours.
You made the right choice.
Yeah.
But yeah, cool.
I hope we put it away in a state where I can get it back out and learn it. That's my only fear, is I haven't opened it since we played it on Infectious Play, and I remember how we packaged some of those games.
Sometimes it was rough.
What do you just table dump it? Like just swipe the table into the box?
Real Eric Martin, yeah.
Oh, that hurts.
Well, it only happened when we didn't pick up the game the week before, and then it was Friday morning, and Ian's like, I gotta set this new game up.
Yeah, that would happen sometimes.
I think it probably took us about an hour to learn it this last time. About an hour to learn it, and then maybe 3 hours to play it. So it wasn't too bad. And Vinhouse is awesome. Somebody mentioned that. We just played that one. One of the categories for our 10x10 challenge this year is Lacerda games.
Nice.
So we're going to try to play 10 Lacerdas.
That's a challenge, yeah. Try to learn 10 Lacerdas.
And luckily, he only has like 6-ish games. So
I think we've named them all.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. John, what's your number 2?
So my next one is one of my favorite like group yelling at each other games. And unfortunately, I brought it to a convention this year, and our car got broken into. And because it came out in 2002, like you can't find copies of it anywhere. But it is Lifeboat. And it not lifeboats plural, but lifeboat singular, designed by Jeff Sidek. And it is fantastic. Ian, have you ever played this one with me?
I have played this with you, and then that is where the memory ends.
So it's really fantastic. You and I think up to 8 other players with the expansions are stuck on a lifeboat trying to survive. There's a seating order for all the people. The person in the back gets to draw the supply cards and then draft them first, and the person in the front gets to steer the boat, and everybody else in the middle is basically worthless. And doesn't get to do the fun stuff. And every character loves one other person on the boat and hates one other person on the boat.
Right.
And you score points by making sure that the person you love is alive at the end and the person you hate is dead at the end. And and there's some weird things, like you could love yourself and then you score double points for yourself. Or if you hate yourself, you get points for every single dead person in the game. So you just want to murder everybody. But man, it's so good. Yeah, Peter, that'd be fantastic if you could. And I had all the expansions and everything. It just broke my heart to have that one stolen.
I don't know that one.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's just cards, but man, it's up there with Cosmic Encounter as one of my favorite, like, heavy interaction, yelling at each other games.
Cosmic Encounter is brutal. It can be so brutal.
It is. This is like Turbo Cosmic Encounter, the card game.
That sounds fun. I like Cosmic Encounter.
I love the art. The art's so ridiculous on it. And like people can fall overboard, and one of the cards is like Bucket of Chum. So if somebody falls overboard, you throw a bunch of chum in the water so they get bitten too.
Yeah, that's good. That's cool.
Yeah, it's a really good one.
It seems like everybody, not everybody, but it seems like I hear about a car being broken into and board games being stolen more often than you would think. Was it in the bag? Not to bring up,
So
bad memory.
we had brought a bunch of tubs of board games to the convention, like because they had like a flea market, so we brought stuff to sell. And then because we were leaving at like 5 a.m, we had loaded up the night before, but we were in a parking garage. And this is when I learned about the Kia boys, which are a thing. So Kia cars, if you get the VIN number, you can get online, you can get the code to open them.
Oh, yeah, I have a Kia, and I got sent a thing to tell me how to fix that.
Yeah.
Oh God.
So I mean, the nice thing was they didn't steal the car or smash the windows. But I'm 100% certain they just took the bins because they thought it had something valuable in it, and then dumped them in an alley a few blocks away when they found out it was board games.
That's what I always wondered when people say that happens, because what are the odds that someone's going to go, oh, good, I play board games too, and steal the,
In fact, all the board games that weren't in boxes didn't get stolen.
Yeah, so they just grabbed what they could and ran.
Yeah, they just took all the bins and took off.
Sucks.
Yeah.
Well, sorry to bring up a bad memory.
Oh, no, it's all right.
Curious about that.
That's like a public service announcement, though.
Yeah.
Like if you have a Kia and you don't know about that thing, like I had no idea that was even a thing. That's insane.
Yeah, I got a letter telling me how to take it to the dealership and get it fixed for free, which is good for them to do that. So
yeah, luckily I didn't get bipped. That hasn't happened to me yet. So I don't know if you guys know what bipping is. That's the new thing, where they just like smash your window at a intersection and steal everything out of the back.
Oh
wow! No,
like while you're in it,
yeah,
you're just in the car and they just like,
yeah.
Wow. All
I
right.
mean, respect, a little respect, right? You know, yeah,
God.
takes guts.
Literally drive you down. Like, I'm in the car.
Well, they do it in traffic, right? Like you can't get away. They just pull up next to you, smash the window, grab your stuff. But yeah, they also do it to parked cars and stuff too. Mark Rober did a couple videos about the thieves like that.
Oh no. That was with the urine in the backpack, yeah?
Yeah.
What? You can what?
If you pee in your backpack, people don't steal it.
It's a deterrent.
He purposely.
And you just put a sign that says "I peed in this" on it, so that they know. And
Peter, you're the best.
Yeah, stuff.
You might have a lifeboat since your way.
That'd be amazing.
Nice. He did a video where he parked his car on a street that was known for that, but he rigged his backpack to have a release mechanism that would be urine, so it's not stolen, and then he would trigger it and it would do the thing.
Yeah,
or something.
Yeah.
Is that the same person who was doing the glitter bomb thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Those were hilarious.
Yeah, so good.
All right. Sidetracked.
Inevitable.
The more you know.
Careful. Huh?
That's Mike, right? Mike's number 2.
Mm-hmm.
Is it on me?
Second favorite.
Hi, buddy. It's not second favorite. All right, I'm just going to continue down the list. I'm going to go to one that's from 2011. Another. I see a theme here. I got a bunch of co-ops, a couple deck builders, definitely scenario-based games, like campaign-based games. But it's Gears of War, the board game.
Oh.
It was so good.
It was. I remember. It was really that good. Where you're just trying to fight off the horde. It really was good. The decisions with who should get the weapons, and I remember the setup being a little bit much with the tiles and that whole thing with I think they were front and back tiles with letters. So when you were setting up the scenario, you had to look at your what tiles you were putting where thing. But I remember it being amazing where you had the emergence hole and you're trying to all right, well, we can do that and stop that from happening, and we go over here. It was really cool. As far as IP, video game IP games go, I remember this one knocking it out of the park.
I never got to play this.
Yeah. The video game I loved. I played it constantly. Really enjoyed the co-op nature of it, and you had the decisions of it purposefully split the party up. Right when you're playing 2-player, it would have you choose who's going here, who's going there, and then your partner would be the computer. But I remember the game being, especially in I think the third iteration, or the Gears of War 3 or whatever it's called. The story, the writing, the narrative that was going on throughout the game was really cool. And then the challenging levels as a video game is one of my favorites. And going into it, I don't think I was really expecting it to be as good as it was. And it was good, but I couldn't tell you anything else about it. Co-op, it's campaign based and based on really cool theme. But
I remember having really cool dual use cards.
I do remember that.
Yeah, I remember Travis talking about it a lot, and they liked the gun mechanics in it quite a bit. Or something about you could always just shoot the gun, but then you could spend ammo to additionally do something better with it, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, makes sense because you had the shooting and you had the chainsaw, so you could lock up or melee. Or I like that one a lot.
Need some in progress minis where they just have they're being chainsawed.
Yeah. So that's 2011. That one.
Pretty cool.
I think that was my second or third Gen Con. I remember waiting in line for it there.
Nice. I never played that one, but I would. Looks cool.
Yeah, you'd hate it. It's co-op. It's full co-op.
Oh, yeah. No. I wouldn't.
You wouldn't like it.
There's some co-ops I like. If it's stuff like, what do you mean?
Sleeping Gods?
Yeah, there you go. Dead of Winter since John's here. That's good. co-op. Is it total co-op?
Co-op-ish.
If there's a trader issue.
We called it meta co-op. Some people call
Yeah.
it semi co-op.
In fact, that might have been my first one. My second,
awesome.
my number 2 is Clans of Caledonia. This one, I loved the game and played it like 5 or 6 times in probably a week, or probably a week and a half. And it, it's total economics. It's definitely not Gears of War. It's the total opposite spectrum, right? But I hope they have a picture of the marketing system. The marketing system I really loved. There's this little whole bunch of coins. Probably doesn't even come with it, I bet. I don't think so. I don't think I have metal coins. I might.
There's a deluxe edition.
It's been so long. There it is. So this is the market system. And so, your wheat and your milk and all that stuff, they have those clear tokens on top, which kind of slightly magnify the number, which is awesome. A great way to do it. And then whenever you buy something, the price goes up. Whenever you sell stuff, it goes down. It's just a clean supply and demand kind of feel in the market. And I love that. It kind of reminds me of Supremacy, this old game play that had a cool market system in it. And then, it also has, the fun, exciting farming theme going on here with sheep and I think you're also making like beer or something. Maybe it's not beer. I can't remember what it is now. But you're making cheese and, oh yeah, that's what it is. You're getting different stuff. Yeah, let me show you this. So like you can get your wheat, and wheat's pretty easy to do, but you can turn your wheat into beer. You can turn your milk into cheese. You can do something else and make bread. Or, it's like all these different combinations and stuff. So
the big question is, do you have to feed your workers?
I don't know. No, I don't think
how
so.
much you want that.
Yeah. I think I would remember if you had to feed your workers. So I'm not a huge fan.
What, John? What other game that looks exactly like this did I play? I feel like it's maybe this one, but
no, Glenmore.
That makes sense.
Maybe is that the one with the tiles?
Yeah,
Glenmore is great. Yeah,
where you bid how much you want people to pay for a thing?
No, that's Isle of the Sky.
God damn it! Sorry, the third game that looks exactly like this one.
There's a lot. I mean, Clem Franz has done a lot of art.
Yeah. Because as soon as you brought it up, I was like, oh yeah, I've totally played this. And then the more you're talking about it, I was like, I don't think I've played this.
It sat in the office for like a year and a half because someone had picked up a copy at Essen for Brian, and I was holding on to it for him.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's why the cover looked really familiar. It just never, yeah.
This is one of them that has such a solid Euro feel that it's one that I want to go back to, not only to enjoy as a game, but also to dissect a bit and how did this get developed and how did this get designed and stuff like that. It's a good one.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So that means we are on to our final number 1, Mike's favorite, all that stuff. So Ian, what is your number 1?
My number 1 is one that I realized that I now have 2 unopened expansions for that I have not played either of them. So to get to that, to solve that problem, I first need to solve the problem of relearning the original game because I don't need to play it. It is also probably the least complicated of any of these and the one that would be the easiest to relearn. So mine kind of went in order of I think this is the one I'm most excited to relearn because I know there's not a lot of rules to it. It's Canvas.
Oh, that's cool.
I just got my expansions for it today.
Literally 2 days ago. Yeah, same.
Yeah. Tara's probably out there mounting.
Sorry, not Campus, Canvas.
Oh, Canvas. Okay. I was 1985? Is that...
the thing you paint Charizard.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know which one.
I think Tara is out there mounting ours on the wall right now.
Yeah, I asked Julia if she wanted to, because I was like, it'll free up some space in the thing. but it really all it does is it gives us room to put the games that are already not fitting on a shelf somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I remember when I first saw this Kickstarter, it had clear cards, which I love.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a sucker for a game with clear cards for lots of reasons. But and also like the art theme and like the really simple kind of, that's not really drafting, but it's one of those games where like you can get the one on the left for free, or you can pay this resource to go further in, and then when you draft those things that have that resource on them, you gain it. I don't know if there's like an official term for that mechanic, but it is in a lot of games.
I believe it's called a market.
Yes, but like you put you put the currency on the cards to pass up the selection and then select something further down. And then when someone takes it, sure, but in not all markets do you pay for something and then someone else gets that money for selecting the thing that you bypassed. I've been to a lot of markets. I haven't seen that. I don't usually get paid for getting a croissant. Like, oh, the person next to you didn't want the croissant, so they put $2 on it.
Yeah.
It's like when you go to the grocery store, you have to put $1 on the cucumbers, $1 on the tomatoes to pick up the onions. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So it has sort of like some set collections and like goals that you're going after with the clear cards, and you have a background for your painting, and then you end up having 3 cards that you socket in, trying to score the best, and then you present your painting on an easel, and then you score it for certain things, and then you have 2 more. You have like 3 paintings that you do total, and that's the end of the game. It was really clever but it was not the most clever game, but it was simple enough, and the theme fit so well with obviously the presentation and the sort of unique aspect of the clear cards and stuff. It's like, oh, you're making these paintings. Yeah, there they are hung up. Yeah, I want to do that. And apparently, John, you are doing that.
Yeah, they actually, if you haven't seen it, they come with a keyhole in the back to hang them on your wall.
Because they all slide out from the top, so they'll never like fall out,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so my problem is that
is the correct name for it. Somebody in the comments said
Queenie no Takey. Yeah,
that's happened. Yeah.
My problem is that my leftmost one is open and the other 2 are in shrink, so I can't hang them up until I take them out of shrink. But I want to relearn the game and play it before I hang them up to make sure that it's something and with the expansions we want to like keep and stuff. So yeah, that's my number 1. I'm most excited to relearn it because I think it'll be pretty easy to relearn, and also there's a chance that like my daughter can play it now. She's like 7.
Yeah.
So it might also be one that's more family oriented. So those games see more play than non-family games currently.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
I like that you had like I like that you had like a good thing to say about it, and then you kind of backed up and you were like, "It's clever." It's not the cleverest.
Well, yeah, I was just like, "Oh, it's super clever," and you're like, "Oh, when you play it, like
not that clever."
You're not gonna. Yeah, I don't want you coming to me and be like, "It wasn't that clever." It's like, I know it wasn't that clever.
It's some clever.
It's very nice. I
think
it's a nice game.
Yeah. It's medium clever.
There you go.
And the only thing I enjoyed it very Century Spice Road, where you're leaving the stuff to take the card. The only thing I didn't the only thing in that game that fell short was you have to whatever they call it in the game, you have to paint it when you have 5.
Present it, yeah.
So there's a little bit of like when it comes to your turn and you've been trying to slow roll, like waiting for the right card, waiting for the right combo, or not picking up something because it could get you negative points. At some point, you're forced to take something and present, and you have no way to mitigate that. That was the only thing that fell for me. But the game was super easy to learn. It was very approachable. The components were great. The names of all the paintings, when you put them all together, like made sense, right? Because of the components that were on the painting and the names that were associated with it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did you compared it to Spice Road? I think.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I heard about this was someone said it's very much like Spice Road. And I said, "Oh, good. I already have Spice Road, so I don't need this." But then I hear more and more about it, and I'm like, oh, okay, I missed out on something. So I didn't back it, and now I kind of wish I had.
I don't think it's that close to Spice Road.
Yeah.
No, it's got that coiny no takey mechanism.
Yeah.
That
Don't make that a thing. Don't
No, that's
get
a thing now.
No,
I'm going to add it to mechanics on BGG right
We've
now.
created it. This is our real legacy right here.
Evan, see what you did.
Evan,
no
yeah.
takey. No, that's when you're going to select the painting you want in your hand to put in the sleeves. There's the market, and if you can get the left one for free, and you could pay a coin to get the next one, or pay 2 coins to get the third one. It's got that Century Spice Road mechanism. But other than that, it's not Century.
But that's like saying Century Spice Road is the same thing as Small World, because it has that same.
Small World
mechanism.
has the same thing. Yeah.
Oh, you put on.
Yeah, like that's such a ridiculous comparison.
Yeah,
That's true.
Well, I think it's kind of the same. I think the Spice Road comparison makes more sense because it's about like half of the mechanics in the game. So like just like Spice Road, where like the other half of the mechanics is playing the cards and turning the resources into other resources. The other half of this game is taking those cards that you've chosen and putting them into one of your paintings and then presenting your painting when you have enough.
Yeah, but you're not fulfilling contracts. Like
no,
I don't know. I think it's pretty different.
You're fulfilling your inner artist.
Yeah, I need to try that one.
It's real good.
All right, John, you're number one.
Yeah. So my number one is pretty old, and I think it was maybe the first indie boards and cards game that they published. It's called Triumvirate. TriumVirate.
I remember that.
The 3-player one.
And it is fantastic. It is 2-player only. It's a 2-player trick-taking game.
Triumvirate?
Yeah, Triumvirate.
You have to spell it really slowly for Chris.
That one?
Yep, that's the one. So nothing to write home about with the art or the theme or anything except for that one guy with the juice neck.
They're all so cool.
They're all turtles. They're human turtles.
Yeah, that neck.
That guy in the middle is getting ready to eat some lettuce.
That's worse than Concordia's cover.
That's hard. But yeah, it's just fantastic. It's 2-player only. Really interesting trick taking with some really. Thank you for zooming in.
I didn't do it. Someone else put
did.
this in. Yeah, someone else had to do that.
Small bots, not a lot of components, but it's super tense. Best 2 out of 3. Plays in like half an hour. Just really, really solid. And I love trick taking games, so and it's nice to have one that plays the 2 players.
Nice. Oh, he's in the game too.
Oh yeah, he's everywhere.
Oh my God.
He's the main dude.
He's in my nightmares.
It will be, yeah.
It's my sleep paralysis demon.
Yeah, I think his name's like Long Neckus or something. Oh, there's that guy.
Yeah. Wow. I if they ever remake it, I hope they keep the art.
Every year I tell Travis to remake it. He's even posted on Twitter, be like, "What game deserves the 2nd edition?" I'm like, Triumvirate.
Yeah, right over here.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So number one, Mike. What's your number one?
I didn't know that one was 2-player only.
Is it?
All right. It's the oldest one on my list. And the reason it's on my list is because I recently played.
Oh, good.
I'm not talking.
I was trying to guess.
Go ahead. It's from 2006. Go ahead. Try and guess.
Oh, geez. No, I won't. Good.
So this might help. I'll give you another clue. Maybe John or Ian can get it. I just recently played a roll and write called Corinth, which is based on this game.
Yes, Pahan.
Yeah.
Good luck. Good luck, Chris.
It's YSP.
P as in polo?
Penis?
Papa? Yeah.
Huh.
There you go.
Not many games are following that
Nope, there's YS and then there's YSP. So Adrian Adamescu taught this to me at Dice Tower when it was Dice Tower Con years ago. God, I don't even know. I don't even know when. The game is fantastic, and I remember some of it because of Corinth. So all of that's going on there is an area control, which is great. And the way you put them out there, I couldn't tell you. I don't remember at all. But what stood out for me, and the best part about it, which was really fun, was you roll the dice and you separate them by pips. The lowest goes on the bottom, the highest goes on the top, and then you fill in the rest from bottom to top. So you might have no 4s or 5s in a roll, or you might have a couple of each in a roll. But you have the ability to use coins to purchase yellow dice, which only you can select from. So if you have extra coins, or you feel like you need to, you can spend a couple coins to get a couple yellow dice and roll all of that. And then when you select your die, whether it's a yellow die or not, the yellow die come out and everyone else gets what's left. And Corinth does it really well. It's got a weird travel thing with I don't know if it's merchants or whatnot, but I remember really enjoying
journeyman or whatever.
Yeah, which is, I think in that game, that's the hardest thing to get somebody's head around. Like, you can never double back, and the points you get always move forward, and that whole thing is a little bit convoluted. But I remember this one being loving every minute of this. The push and pull, the don't go there, you don't want to go there, and then you go there, and then now you got to go there. It's kind of like the military in Seven Wonders. Like, no one does it until someone does it, and then everyone needs to do it. This one's got that, like, staying away from areas, and you feel safe because you have a certain amount of buildings that are controlling it, and then someone comes into your territory, and you're like, well, now I gotta go in there. But that camel track was also something I remember being really cool, because you're scoring points based on where it is or what round it is or what you have going on during that. I remember this one being just a hit from the beginning. So and I would legitimately say that this would be the next game that I want to learn, because I just recently played Corinth and I want to learn this one again, because I
don't remember the specifics of Yaspahan anymore, because I've just played Corinth too many times. Like, it's just replaced it in my brain.
Right.
Anytime I try to think of Yaspahan, it's just Corinth now.
Right.
But yeah, so the kind of thing that you mentioned with the dice track, and it's the same in Corinth and Yaspahan, where like you put them from lowest to highest, right, by pips, and then that's the actions that are available. So if you take an action, like you take the get camels action or something, that's like where the ones are. And if there's 3 1s, you get 3 camels. If there's like 4 2s, you get 4 of whatever the 2 action is. And if there's just no 5s, you don't have that action that round. So the system is really cool. My favorite part of Corinth is the rule that says, like, what happens if you roll all the same number? And what it says is you win the game and you win every future game. So take your copy and give it to someone else now.
Yeah.
It's such a good rule.
Weird.
Yeah, because like it breaks if you roll all the same number.
That's funny.
Then you're done, because you're the only one that gets dice on that turn. It does. What I really enjoy about Red Cathedral is when you're doing the resource action in Red Cathedral, the pips matter, and the pips count you around. And then where the die lands, the pips no longer matter. It's the number of die that are there. And it does a similar thing here, where you roll the dice and the pips matter, because that's how the actions are going to be for that round. But when you go to select from there, it's the number of dice that are in that selection for that action. So like Ian said, if there's three dice there, doesn't matter what pip number they were. The lowest number you could have rolled was a 4, like a bunch of 4s, a couple 5s, and a 6 or something. It doesn't matter what it is. Whatever the lowest one is, the lowest action, and you get the dice that are there. And they do the similar thing with Red Cathedral, and I like that mechanism, whatever that is, a separation,
I like Red
dice
Cathedral
pip separation. Red Cathedral. I played White Castle over the weekend too, and then I replayed Red Cathedral. Both games I played at 4-player, and both games reminded me not to play those games at 4-player ever again.
I don't think I've played Red Cathedral at 4.
Don't. Too long, too much downtime, and it's almost worse at White Castle. Really great games. Like I love them. I love Red Cathedral, and I really like what White Castle is doing, but I don't think I would play either of them at 4-player. There's too much downtime in between.
Red Cathedral is fantastic 2-player.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yep.
Yeah, so Yaspan, is my number one. If you haven't played it or haven't heard of it, if you played Corinth, you'll be familiar with some of the stuff that's going on. But it's definitely worth tracking down. It's older. I don't know if it's in print. I don't know if they've rethemed it with a different skin for something else.
I don't think so. I think Corinth was the thing. I think they made Corinth, and then they're like, "This is it now." Everyone should play Corinth, though. It's fantastic.
Yeah, Corinth is fantastic.
There's so many games to learn here.
Yeah, you just got to come to QSCon and hang out with all of us.
QSCon?
Yep.
We're all bringing all 5. That's
all 5 of our top 5, and we'll play them.
Final
Lacerda will take up an entire day. So
Lacerda Day. My final one is Yokohama.
Oh, nice.
So I got the TMG original Kickstarter version, and I played it a bunch whenever I first got it. The things that I remember about it, other than the fact that this board is like graphically blinding, like everything going on in it, it looks so complicated, and it's really not. But I remember mostly that you got it. It's worker placement, but there's rules to how you have to move your workers around, and that you have a president. I think it's called, like a bigger worker that you're trying to do, and you have a bunch of little. I forget what the little ones are called, like assistants or something like that. And so it's got a really. I don't know if anybody's duplicated it yet, but it's got like a really cool, feel and workflow with it. I just don't remember all of the. Yeah, there you go. Like they even had little stickers to put on there. But I really enjoyed it. I remember really liking this game, and we played it a bunch. And then, of course, like I said, it's been buried under many other games since. So I'm trying to find.
I wanted to try Yokohama Duel. I wanted to see the differences there between them.
Yeah,
the 2-player one.
I could see this. It's in OS and DNA of Yokohama. Yeah, I could see that because it feels like there's movement things you have to plan. I'll go here, and then next turn I'll have to go here to do this kind of thing. Yeah, it's really, and I love Istanbul too, so that's probably why I like this one. But
I think my only complaint about Yokohama was the 3 and 4 player game, because you just duplicate. Like you can see here, there's just in that picture that you were just showing. There's duplicates of every space, so it takes away all the worker placement tension. And it's weird just having there's one copy of it over here and another copy over here.
Yep.
And I would have liked a better, more elegant way to scale for number of players. But other than that, it's brilliant.
Yeah, I think this is how the final thing looks. And the board is so full of icons and different stuff going on that it looks like just icon salad to just all in front of you, and it doesn't make any sense and stuff until you really dig into the game. So it doesn't look that attractive on the table, in my opinion, until you get into it and it all makes sense to you. But I wish I'd love to see a version of it kind of re-graphic design in a way. I mean, I know there's a ton of stuff, so it'd be a huge challenge. Not really picking on tool on it, graphic design. But yeah.
Look at Ian O'Toole. He does he's done all the Lacerda games. See if anyone can do it.
It does look like the houses and hotels. That's funny. But yeah, Yokohama. I need to relearn it. I really enjoyed it. Has anybody else played it? Mike, you're muted.
Lance did talk about that one for a while. I was laughing at the comment. Lance did talk about that one for a minute.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
I played it with John, and that's where the memory ends. I remember it happened.
That's funny.
That's funny. Well, I mean, Lance worked for TMG when it came out, right? So,
all right.
Yeah. So that's our top five. Top five, whatever we would like to learn, games we'd like to learn.
And then we're playing all 20 of them, right?
We're playing all 20 of them.
They're all going to be in the library.
Ian's got to come back, and Chris has to attend for the first time. So if that all happens, then we'll play all 20 games at QSCon.
I'm in.
QSCon.
John, you bring the correct Glory to Rome.
Yeah, the
The
open.
correct.
No.
I like that you didn't define which one was the correct, so he still gets to pick.
That was defined earlier, right? The black one.
Yeah, he knows.
I can paint the clamshell.
Put that contents in the other one. Well, you'd have to open it.
That'd be worth it to bring the black box and then open it up and have the clamshell edition in it.
Clamshell.
Just leave. Like I'm gonna just go home.
All right.
All right.
Speaking of QSCon, and one of the reasons I'm very excited about this being our guests being here this evening, we got into a conversation a couple weeks ago on the show. Back in 2019, the first QSCon, I remember the con had ended. I think it was Sunday. I was going up to get a drink at the bar. It was either the first day or the last day. It all blurred. But I remember walking past the table where you guys were sitting, and there were other people there. I believe Peter Hayward might have been there. It was a full Catherine Stipple. There was a table of people, and I walked into the conversation about how everything with more than one ingredient is a salad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was one of those moments where I was like, Chris, and I was like, all right, no. But then as the conversation continued, there was some sound logic in what you guys were supporting as the topic of that discussion. So I brought it up a couple weeks ago, and Chris was just like, eye rolling. It was one of the moments where Chris was actually listening to me. And he's like, wait, what? And then we started talking about it.
I realized he shouldn't have been.
This is why,
And prior to that, over the summer, Keith and I took a trip down to the city for a thing. And I brought it up to Keith, and Keith got into it. He was like, all right, but what about this? What about that? And I was texting Ian in the car on the way down to the city about the whole salad conversation, popping off well, what about this? And he's like, no, it's a salad, or no, it's got. So I would like to kind of talk about that as a thing and watch Chris's head just explode.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
you go ahead.
I was gonna say the inception of this, I think, is one of the best parts. So the reason that this conversation started at one point was at a game day, at one of John's game days. And it was something that John's sister Jen had brought. Because normally it's bring food when you come up. Jen brings a ton of food. And so she brought something and called it a casserole. And John immediately took offense to that because it was just in a pie tin or something. It was it wasn't in a casserole dish. So the conversation then morphed into,
I see.
What is a casserole? Does a casserole mean that it has to come in a casserole dish? And is everything in a casserole dish a casserole? And from that, you get into this conversation, and then you look up the definition of what a casserole is. And then from there, we're just well, what about a salad? What if you put a salad in a casserole dish? And you're so you look up the definition of a salad or something. And then it turns out that the definition of a salad is a combination of ingredients. And we're wait a minute. Everything is a salad.
Kabuki Kid's close in the comments. Deep dish pizza isn't a casserole. It's a quiche because it has a crust.
So that's what, okay. All right.
Yeah.
But it is a salad because it is a combination of ingredients. Now, the definition of a salad does say that it's usually cold, but a lot of things aren't cold.
But there are hot salads.
I'm going to go to dictionary.com. Maybe they fixed it. Maybe they fixed it.
So
usually cold dish consisting of vegetables as lettuce, tomatoes, and cucumbers covered with a dressing and sometimes containing seafood, meat, or egg.
Let me challenge that.
Okay.
What is it when you take a can of tuna fish and mix mayonnaise into it and put it between two pieces of bread?
Tuna fish sandwich.
Salad sandwich.
Oh, I just say tuna fish sandwich.
Well, that's
or
fine.
Chicken,
you don't want to
do
say
the
the full
same
name. Or chicken salad sandwich. They do not
or
always
macaroni
have
salad
vegetables in them. They're not vegetable based.
Or a fruit salad.
I think you're well, but mayonnaise is a salad dressing.
No,
What about a fruit salad?
Miracle Whip is a salad dressing. Mayonnaise is
Either
not.
one can be, right?
No, Miracle Whip is labeled as a as anything could be a salad dressing if you
No.
wanted to.
No.
Yeah, you could put ice cream on your salad and be like, that's my salad dressing. It
Oof.
doesn't make it salad dressing. Miracle Whip self-identifies as a salad dressing.
I did a little bit of searching earlier, and I found two things that I'm sure will have Chris's eyes roll completely around. Today's definition of a salad is a variety of cold dishes that include small pieces of food, such as pasta, meat, fruit, or vegetables, mixed with a dressing or mayonnaise. If it's dressed, you can feel confident calling it a salad.
So any ingredient with something on it, any dressed ingredient is a salad.
Okay, but that only takes place if it hasn't already been defined as something else.
What do you mean?
If I'm making a pizza, you can't say it's a salad because it's a pizza.
But it fits the definition of salad, so you can say it's a salad.
Well, also fits the definition of pizza, and it's also meant to be a pizza, so it's a pizza.
It's an accidental salad at best.
Accidental salad. Now,
so
if you can turn this into a board game, that's what you should call it: accidental salad.
Yeah, chicken fried rice, a salad, 100%. Mm-hmm. Now, since Tara and I have had this discussion at length a lot of times, unfortunately, and we've actually determined that everything's really a sandwich because everything exists in some way between two pieces of bread. So somewhere to your left and somewhere to your right are two pieces of bread. Everything in between that's a sandwich.
Don't they have to be touching though in order for it to be like it can't just be in proximity. It has to be touching.
only the ingredients touching the bread are a sandwich, or is it the touching of everything? Because if every ingredient touching between those two pieces of bread, and if my pieces of bread are this far away, as long as they're touching the ground at some point, they're all touching in between.
I mean, technically, nothing's touching anything because there is space in between every atom, right? So.
That's true.
And atoms are just combinations.
I'm just going to throw it in because I'm not
all atoms are salads.
So atoms are salads. No. So the Milky Way. Let's go even further. The entire universe is a salad.
Yeah,
is a salad.
Yeah, it's just it's atoms dressed in
empty space.
So the other thing I found, which was from 2022, was about spaghetti. And obviously spaghetti in red sauce. And it says spaghetti is a salad and cannot be classified as a soup. But chicken noodle soup could be a salad and a soup. Mm-hmm. Salads often have dressing, so we determine that anything that has some sort of sauce or dressing is a salad, which is why spaghetti fits the salad.
Yeah. And it depends the consistency of your tomato sauce, whether or not it's a soup.
True, I've had some usually never good. So this is a good question. What if a pie is a quiche? Or what was your thing about it being? It's a salad, but if it goes in the oven, then it's a casserole. But it has to go in the oven in a casserole.
Oh, because it did say cold, right?
Well, typically, usually not always. There are hot salads.
Yeah. What's a hot salad?
I've had like a warm, like a salad with a warm dressing, which is not cold.
Right.
Yeah. Or like a steak salad. The steak's not
cold. But it's not a cold salad either.
It's medium.
Like how hot is hot? What's our definition? We need to define hot.
Salad, the steak is hot, but the salad's not. Right.
And once it gets room temperature, does it stop being a salad? Like if you have lettuce with ranch dressing on it and it's room temperature, like, oh, that's not a salad anymore.
Well, if you take a salad, like a traditional salad,
yeah,
and you put it in the oven and you start cooking it until it's just ash. When you pull it out, you're not going to call that a salad anymore, right?
No, but a tuna melt is a tuna salad sandwich that's been cooked.
And you keep saying tuna salad sandwich, but it's just tuna and mayonnaise is not
No,
tuna salad.
Listen, if you want to drop words from it, that's fine.
You're adding words.
But the name is tuna salad.
No, it's just tuna. It's a tuna fish sandwich.
No.
Or a tuna melt.
Okay, well, I mean, we can do the same thing with chicken. Like chicken salad. I've had grilled chicken salad sandwiches before.
But they're not hot.
Yeah, they're served warm.
Yep.
Like as a meal.
Really? I don't think I would
sounds
eat a
awful.
warm
Yeah.
chicken salad sandwich. Ugh. That
But
sounds
this
like
is
something
so-
wrong with
No one wants hot mayo, right? That's
No,
not
no.
unless
I
you
want-
get a burger or anything that's as mayonnaise.
Yeah, it's
Is
weird.
it
If I
warmed up?
Google tuna salad sandwich, there's a lot of pictures of sandwiches that are tuna salad.
Right, you can have tuna salad and put them in a sandwich, but there's also just a tuna sandwich.
What's the ingredient difference between a tuna sandwich and a tuna salad sandwich?
More than mayonnaise.
More than mayonnaise. So just tuna and mayonnaise is a tuna sandwich.
If you take pickle and put it with it, or if you take chopped up hard boiled egg and put it with it, now you're making a salad. Tuna salad.
What if you just have sliced pickles with like on top of the tuna, like not mixed in?
How many ingredients make a salad? Is it
More
are
than
you
one.
saying 2 or more?
See, this
Two.
is the problem, is that definitions of things are bad and they don't ever
Yeah.
work. Like the whole concept of defining things is garbage. Because you also put salt and pepper in your tuna. So now that's 4 ingredients that we're talking about, right?
That's
You
a
got-
spice.
Oh, spices don't count?
That's not an ingredient. Spice is an
They're
ingredient.
certainly listed on the recipe.
If I accidentally put cumin in my tuna, I would be like, "Oh, I messed up and added an ingredient I shouldn't have."
You added a spice you
listed,
shouldn't have.
it's listed as an ingredient, salt, pepper. It's under ingredients, so they're definitely ingredients.
Yeah, I mean, but it's also a spice. So you're
sure.
saying
So again, it's 2 things. It is an ingredient and a spice.
so
Just
you're
like a
saying
pizza
if I
is a
put
salad
salt in
and
my
a-
hand, I've got salt. If I put pepper with it, I have a salad?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, you dress your salt with pepper, you got a salad, baby.
No.
Yep.
I mean, this is all backed by this is all based off of the like what you were just saying is that, definitions are kind of stupid because you can always find exceptions and stuff like that, right? But I don't know. My dictionary says that it has to have various dishes consisting of foods. Various. That's more than 2.
Various.
Well, it's saying that a salad is a subcategory of dishes, I think is what.
Usually a cold dish consisting of vegetables is lettuce, tomatoes, cucumbers.
Usually.
Yeah, it's a weird way to start a definition. Usually.
Yeah, it's kind
It
of the
doesn't really
opposite.
tell you anything, does it? See more. Oh, there's a see more button. Hold on. Any herb or green vegetable as lettuce used for salads or eaten raw. Okay.
So, yeah, salad is also sometimes just referred to as like the lettuce is referred to as a salad, like it by itself.
The fifth. Well, that's wrong. That's just lettuce. But the fifth
according to what you just
definition
read.
just says any mixture or assortment.
That's it. That's the one. That's the one we found where we're like, it's everything.
And
That's not even food. That's
Well,
just
sure, but like it's talking about when it's talking about that definition, it's talking about like we would say like a word salad, right? Like word salad, or we're talking about a board game. We're talking about point salad, right? Like a point salad is not like it's not a point salad because it has lettuce and ranch on it. Like it's not. That's not what it means.
It's a
It means
melange of
a
scoring.
combination, of scoring criteria.
I like that
You
there's
put all of those components back in the box. You got a dry salad.
you got a sandwich once you put them back in the box.
Wouldn't it be
I
more of a
wouldn't eat it.
Wedge salads are bullshit.
That's true.
Nobody's ever been like, man, I want a DIY salad. And I want to pay more for it.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to call a tuna fish sandwich a salad.
You don't have to use the right words if you don't want to.
Use the
Nobody
correct.
can force you.
Well, then board games are a salad.
I mean, yeah, sure.
So you're not a designer; you're a salad maker.
We're all
Yeah.
salad makers.
We're all salad makers.
So when I worked at Subway, I was called a sandwich artist. So I will be a salad artist.
And then people will say, "What does that mean you make?" And you're like, "Everything.
Everything.
Everything's a salad."
I'm also a huge fan. If you want to throw it up on the screen, I'll drop a link here.
The cube rule.
I love, the cube rule of food, because this is a fantastic way to show how bad naming systems are.
Cube rule of food.
I dropped a link in the chat.
Oh, okay.
Just be ready. Just be ready, everyone. That's all I'm saying. Just be ready to argue.
The cube rule of food identification is seen.
Maryland
Okay.
courts.
Oh, okay. Okay. I've seen that question before. I haven't dived in.
Uh-huh.
Seen it.
Yeah.
Classic sandwiches, grilled cheese, Reuben.
Look at that existential crisis on the hot dog.
Yeah.
You're
Am
gonna,
I a
be asking,
sandwich?
you're gonna be asking yourself the same question by the end of this episode.
Am I a sandwich? No, you're. Oh my god.
So New York State ruled that hot dogs and sausages are sandwiches.
Taxpayer Guidance Division. The taxpayers paid for this.
Also, the wildest thing is that open face sandwiches are sandwiches because they don't even have two pieces of bread.
That's true. Although sometimes they separate and then they become a sandwich. Pop-Tarts are kind of ravioli.
Steven said earlier that Pop-Tarts are more Wellingtons.
Or Stromboli. It's Stromboli.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Sandwich alignment charts. No. Yes.
You can find yourself in here.
Yeah, where do we sit?
I'm radical sandwich anarchist.
Yeah, obviously. No, I'm not willing to say that a Pop-Tart is a sandwich. I'm not even sure if I'm willing to say a hot dog is a sandwich.
What about a burrito?
No, definitely not a sandwich. No, I'm not going that way. Ice cream taco. No. Ice cream between waffles.
taco.
Okay, that's a weird one because the ice cream between waffles is a sandwich I can kind of get behind.
And it's cold, so it's a salad. That ice cream has like 3 ingredients at least in it.
No, it's a sandwich. It's been defined as a sandwich. You can't
It's an
define
ice cream
it.
salad sandwich.
Is it a hat? What is a chip buddy?
You look at it, it's French fries with ketchup
French fries
in
and
between
ketchup on
bread.
Okay, it's what my hamburger becomes whenever they miscook it. Got it.
Yeah.
Take the meat out.
But if you go down a little bit more, we're going to get to the real good stuff here.
That's the UK being like, we made a thing, and we're like, you should.
I think I'm up on top row here. I could be anywhere on the top row.
I can see you in the top left is where you seem like. Ingredient purist, stretcher purist.
I would still call this one a sandwich. Ingredient neutral. I think I could be in there. Yeah.
I think the ice cream one is still a sandwich, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
Oh, for sure.
I'm still kind of leaning there. So I'm good all the way through here, I think.
All right, wait.
Yeah.
So John is the radical. Ian, where are you?
Oh, we're both radicals.
You're both radical sandwich. Okay,
It's anarchy all the way.
Where you might.
I might go. I don't know. I think
Join us in the radical sandwich anarchy.
I might be. I don't know.
Join
if
us.
Pop-Tart a sandwich, but I can definitely call a burrito a sandwich.
What? It only has one piece.
Unless it breaks, and then it's 2 pieces. Whoops.
So if you take a Pop-Tart and eat the edges off, so it's just 2 pieces of carbs with jelly in the middle, did you just unlock a sandwich halfway through your Pop-Tart?
No.
It's a thing that pops up.
No, you don't change the definition of something as you eat it.
Well, you don't wait. So, like, if I take a block of stone and carve it, it becomes a statue. But if I take a Pop-Tart and eat the edge off, it doesn't become a sandwich, is what you're telling me.
No, because you're getting that stone saying this will become a statue.
I say
You're not
that every
getting-
time
you're
I
not
eat a
getting the-
Pop-Tart. I pop it in. I'm like, this will become a sandwich.
Okay, I will give to you that when you eat a Pop-Tart and you say this will become a sandwich, you can then say you have made a Pop-Tart sandwich. Sure.
Yes.
I can't take that away from you. It
That
is
might
not a
have-
Pop-Tart
that might have
sandwich
been-
when I eat it that way, though.
That bit about eating the outside of a Pop-Tart might have converted me down there.
Oh,
I'm
God.
definitely hot dog is a sandwich. I think I'm burrito is a sandwich. I'm dancing that line of radical. Like that was really close.
I mean, because if you take a sandwich and put a like a cutter around it and it seals the edges,
Yeah.
it doesn't become a Pop-Tart.
Yeah.
It stays a
Like an
sandwich, right,
Uncrustable.
Chris?
Uncrustables. I've definitely taken a piece of bread and instead of 2 pieces of bread and folded it, and I consider that a sandwich. So I
Yeah.
don't think 2 pieces of bread is required for a sandwich. So 1 piece is fine.
When you fold it, though, be honest, do you call it a half sandwich?
No, it's a fucking sandwich.
No, you call it a half sandwich, don't you?
Half sandwich is a sandwich you cut in half.
Right.
Sure, but it's also the size of a half sandwich, so you call that a half sandwich.
But we got to get
I don't
past
know why I
this
gotta
chart
keep-
because this is even the best part.
Okay,
No, yeah, this isn't the cube
Well,
rule. This is
we
just the
haven't-
inciting incident.
we haven't like come together yet, so how can we move on? Okay, but chaos ensued. Then spake the holy prophet. Oh no.
The cube rule for identifying what you're eating.
Okay, cube rule. Blessing us with a grand unified theory. Oh no.
Food identification.
Oh, okay. I've seen this.
Mhm.
So I think depending on where the starch is, this is a
That-
good definition that works 100%. I think we can all agree.
Well, no. If we all agree, then Pop-Tart's not a sandwich.
Well, I think what we're going
Pop-Tart's
to
a
find as we
calzone.
scroll down is if we agree, then we're going to agree that definitions are bad.
These definitions are bad.
So Pop-Tart is a calzone.
Pop-Tart is a calzone. I'll agree.
No,
They
on-
are
on
made
this,
the
yes.
same way. Why isn't a calzone a Pop-Tart?
Hot dog is a taco.
Hot dog's a taco. That's correct.
Yeah.
I could definitely see the hot dog being taco. That makes sense.
Yep, yep. Sushi makes sense.
Toast
A
makes
pie
sense.
is a soup salad with bread bowl.
Well, sushi, there's different types of sushi, so that's a weird one.
And I would say a lot of things qualify for number 5 because if it's ingredients inside of a thing, it's a soup or a salad.
I thought you would think everything qualifies for number 5.
Oh, we'll get there. Look at how far your scroll bar has to go. Just
God.
take that as an
Oh,
indicator of how far on our journey we are.
Oh, Daniel's got a point. So my folded bread, when I oh God. When I fold my bread, it becomes a taco. It's no longer a sandwich.
Yep.
By that rule.
Daniel, I don't know if 4 is a burrito because the ends aren't closed.
A burrito would be a sushi, right?
A burrito would be a calzone, right?
Oh, no, it's open on each end, like a sushi.
No, you're thinking of a taquito or a chimichanga. Those are.
Oh, I'm thinking of the way I sloppily make a burrito. Yes,
No,
Yeah.
it should be folded on both sides.
that's true. That's
But
true.
as soon as you eat one of the ends, it becomes a soup salad. with bread
No.
bowl.
See, this is where we're going to still disagree. There has to be a part where the definition is fixed. Like once you cook a thing
Before
prepare a thing,
consumption.
just before you're about to eat it, it is defined, and then you consume it. Otherwise, definitions would just change constantly. Some of it falls on the plate. Now you get a salad. Now you got this. Like
Definitions do change constantly, and things
Oh,
change
God.
constantly.
I cannot.
I
say.
pop both ends of my burrito before I start going in. Doesn't everyone?
I go through the middle first.
And
I
do you
just leave
define-
the wrap untouched.
And does it all become a milkshake in your stomach? Like you're still defining it as you're digesting it.
No, it's a soup, man.
Yeah, milkshakes are soups.
Everything is shit.
The closest we're all going to get to agreeing on that.
Everything becomes shit.
That's a sloppy sushi. Don't get.
I will not be doing that.
No.
All right, so let's
All right, let's
going
keep
down.
moving.
Yeah,
Keep going.
yeah. I think we're all on board. Let's identify them. I mean, we need to find a system that works, right?
All right, so we got toast. We already have a system that works. It's
No,
called
no.
okay.
What's the system that works?
The system that we all identify. If I say pizza, you know what I'm talking about, right?
But if you say salad, I have no idea what you're talking
No,
about.
you know.
So these are all good toast, right?
Uh,
Nigiri sushi, pumpkin pie, pizza.
If you order a salad and I bring you a bowl of nuts and bolts, and you just be like,
Well,
"Yep,
that's
that's
not
a
food.
salad, no complaint."
Oh, it's
I
not.
think it at least has to be edible.
Well, I don't know about that. It just said different. We talked about the Milky Way being a salad.
Well, that was a bit.
That was a bit. This is serious, but that was a bit.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Minty Lish, you're correct. Nigiri specifically is toast.
Yeah.
But
Oh, okay. No. See, this is what I was saying. Is you can't call all sushi. You're just talking about the rolled sushi.
yeah.
was better.
So nigiri
Reverse.
specifically, mati is different.
Pie is different. Pie has a side to it.
Yeah, it's bent.
It's bent. Yeah, it says there
That's
bent
just bent
toast.
toast. How's it side different than
No.
folded on a piece of bread?
No, it'd be more of a taco, wouldn't it?
It'd be a one, maybe two-sided taco at best.
Yeah. See, I don't even see pie on here. They
Well,
even
that's
even
because that's just
considered
pie's
pie.
toast.
Sandwich. I mean, we can all get behind.
Easiest sandwich. Great.
Easy
Yep,
one.
quesadillas are sandwiches.
Quesadilla. Oh, hold on.
Toast. So if you put a
Hold
piece
on.
of bread between two pieces of bread, that is a sandwich.
As a sandwich.
Is quesadilla a sandwich?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have
No
tortilla
edges,
and then
top
you
and
get some
bottom.
tortilla.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think pie's another category.
No, everything has to fit into the food definition.
And then Victoria sponge cake, obviously, because it has a layer of things in the middle.
And that's a piece of bread in between two pieces of bread.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Sandwich.
Okay.
Bread sandwich.
It works.
So then we got tacos, easy,
Taco.
famous
Someone's-
tacos.
Time on this. Taco on its side, I refuse.
Yeah, if
How
you
is
hold it. If
First
you
of
hold it
all-
like a taco.
First of all, this is a slice of pie. Again, you can't. It's been defined before it gets sliced. So
Oh, that was
would be
before you ate it.
concealed.
Yeah, but it's served to you as a slice, which means it's now presented to you in that way.
It was baked.
So is
as
it
a-
is it when it leaves the chef's hands or before you take your Instagram photo? You like I gotta know
when
where-
it's ready to eat?
So then a slice of pie is the correct definition.
No, it was ready to eat before. You could take a spoon and just dig right into that pie.
So a pie
You
is
don't
a
need
cup.
it doesn't need to be
I
cut.
need sugar and berries. Like what do you mean?
It doesn't need to be cut.
But what about the pumpkin pie then? It doesn't have it on the top, so it can't be the same thing.
And you can't
Right,
say that
that's
as soon as
the-
something's ready to eat, it's defined. In which case, an egg is technically ready to eat as soon as it's laid, and it can never be anything else other than an egg. Like it couldn't be an ingredient in a cake or an omelet.
I didn't say you can't do more to it.
Yeah, so when you take a pie and you slice it, you've now created a taco.
No, I don't like that.
Or
Because
peanut-
if the top is latticed, is it considered solid enough to be a proper layer? That's the real question.
I think that's
Latticed pie.
So wait, the sub sandwich I get because it's technically three sides, but most of the time when you go to compress it, the side splits. So then a sub sandwich as a taco then becomes
becomes a regular sandwich. Yes. Same
Now,
as
that's
you blow
what
on
I'm
the
saying
bottom
is,
of
like,
your
it's
taco.
prepared this way. This is the way it's supposed to be prepared. So
Right.
that's how you define it.
Okay.
Let's keep going.
All right, sushi.
There's gonna be lots of famous sushis here.
So much disagreement. Pigs in the blanket.
My favorite sushi.
See, sushi has its own definition. You can't redefine sushi. That's and all the other stuff, really. Falafel wrap, not a sushi. Enchilada, not a sushi.
Enchiladas
No,
are on both ends.
So before there was like sushi rolls, there was probably like nigiri came first, right? Like it was just rice and then thing on top, and that was sushi. So they have redefined sushi.
Sashimi came first. Just the fish.
Oh, so yeah, just
yeah. It's actually sushi rice is what you're saying here. So
correct. So I would say the top categories could use a better name that isn't one of the things that is of that category.
They should have their own names that aren't right. What you're saying?
Yeah. So let's call this tubes. These are all tubes.
Yeah. Anybody could get behind that. These are tubes. We're solving this.
Quiche.
I can't really see. Is the bottom done on this one?
Yes.
I imagine. Okay.
Yep.
So this is a pie. This is a pumpkin pie.
This is the third time a pie's been included in this, I think.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is like that's why I was against the pumpkin pie before. It
They get you here. It's cheesecake, right?
But now you're okay with pumpkin pie being a quiche.
No, I'm saying what your viewers are saying is that if we define this as something else, like bucket or something, none of it are.
The whole goal is as we go through this, you move one thing to another category, and we're like, you see what we mean?
Yeah.
You see the problem?
Bonus round.
Bonus round. Deep dish pizza, salad bowl,
And a bread bowl, yeah. Key lime pie.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Quiche. Yeah.
Not quiches, but whatever that would be. Because a quiche is that.
Let's say the bowl method,
Calzone.
right?
All right. So this is what I would define as what the pie was before it's cut.
If it has a crust on top.
Right. Crust on top. Yeah.
Whole pie.
And they agree.
You're correct.
A pie's a calzone as well.
Yeah, the burrito is a calzone. Makes sense.
Does a corn dog work because it has something sticking out of it?
You could take it. Oh, you take it off.
Listen,
The enclosure's been pierced.
Do you want to open that can of worms? Hey,
It technically has a hole.
Well, Chris, if I want to I'll take your stance on this until you pull that stick out. Because we can't change the definition, right?
Right.
It's sealed.
It is sealed.
It's sealed.
All right. It's whatever calzone should be renamed.
Bonus round.
Pop-Tarts. See, now they're saying Pop-Tart is not a sandwich. And
they said it was a calzone above.
Oh, okay.
I was saying that if you ate the edges off from it, it became a sandwich because it just had top and bottom carbs.
That's like saying if you took it and crumbled it up, now it's a salad.
Yeah.
No.
If you took it and crumbled it up and put it on some lettuce, you got a salad.
That's questionable.
The
Additional
definition of it changed somewhere along
yes,
there.
let's have additional rulings.
Yeah, because you got to know.
So
No
a
carbs?
salad
Salad.
has
Whoa.
no carbs around it.
Wait. What about in it?
In it's fine.
In
It
it's
is
fine.
undisclosed.
We're defining it by the surroundings.
Well, wait a minute. What about sushi that has nori wrapped around it?
That's a burrito. Or no, wait, what was the tube? I can't remember what the tube was now.
No, because the
Why
rice
is
is
it
on
a
the
tube?
side.
No, the nori is seaweed. It's not the starch.
Well, yeah, but that'd be like having a wrapper on your sandwich. It's still a sandwich if it's wrapped up in paper, right?
Lettuce
But
wraps. What are you going to do? Where are we at?
Lettuce wraps.
It'd just be bunched up at that point, I guess.
And
It's an
Daniel
inside-
has come around. He says the galaxy is a salad.
We're changing minds here. This is exactly what you knew was going to happen, Michael.
And these are all popular salads, right?
Steak? Wait. Hold on.
Yeah.
There's
Steak's
no
only
carbs.
one ingredient.
No, sir, there's not. There's
Depends
salt
on
and
how-
pepper.
Season your steak?
Yeah. You just eating raw, unseasoned steak?
You could.
No oil, no butter basting? What is happening?
Yeah.
You like put a little sprig of thyme on top and then throw it away and hope it
Obviously, hold on. Mashed potatoes. You could have mashed potatoes without butter and all that stuff in it. I mean, it wouldn't be great, but
You could.
But it's potato.
that's one ingredient.
But then that's
It's
just a potato.
and water.
It's just potato.
That's mashed potatoes.
If you add water to it, then that's an ingredient.
Potatoes that's been mashed. Everything has water in it.
What happened?
Turducken is a salad. I refuse.
Yep.
There's no,
Yeah,
the carbs
there's
are
no
on the
carbs.
side of it.
Are you tired?
And soup is just a wet salad.
What happened?
What a salad.
Where is it?
That's gross.
Here, have
Ooh,
Okay,
here's a good one.
now we're getting cake. Wait a minute. They have sandwiches that do that. You're calling that a cake?
But multiple layers.
Yeah.
What about the bread sandwich we saw? You're just calling that a cake now?
I think
Well,
if it was
it's not
5,
separation
I think it would have to be 5 slices of bread.
Because you need things in between the things that you would consider the bread layers.
You've got to have bread separation.
That's
I
why
get
normal
this.
burger wouldn't count. Big Mac counts because it's got that middle, and you have things between each of the middle.
Kabuki, I'm not sure about Reubens. All the Reubens I've ever had are bread on the top and bottom and ingredients in the middle. But if you had a Dagwood with multiple salads, then yeah. Or multiple layers, not salads. Jesus.
It's coming undone. It's all coming apart.
Flapjack. Wait,
Lasagna's a cake, obviously.
why is flapjacks a cake?
Because it has maple syrup and butter between every layer.
You don't just butter the top one, right? You're not a monster.
Yeah, you're not.
Oh, well, you put butter on top, and then you mix it around. You eat the one on top, and the butter then falls to the next one.
Do you like yank your pancakes out? real
And the
quick?
flowers are still standing. Yeah. You,
Just do that.
no. You take the piece of butter, you rub it around, you put the fork in it, you rub it around, put it to the side, eat the top, then take the butter, put it back on top.
Wait, hold on. In this situation, how are you eating the pancakes? Like with your hands? Because you put the fork aside.
Well, you take it off the fork. You put it off to the side. You get multiple forks. I don't know. So
This is an
pancakes.
easier definition.
So pancakes or flapjacks become a cake only if there's stuff in between them.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
if you
they're
had 2 of them,
Or if there's
otherwise
five
they're
of them.
toast.
No, because there's more than one.
If you just have 1 pancake with butter and maple syrup on it, that's toast.
That's toast.
If you have 2 pancakes with butter and maple syrup, that's a sandwich. 3 or more pancakes.
This would all not even be a discussion if those definitions weren't named after one of the things. Like when you said tube, burrito's a tube, everybody can agree to that. Right?
The way Chris eats pancakes.
Well, I mean,
nothing in
pancake
between.
was cake because cake has the word cake in it.
Well, yeah, pancake.
If we're going by the bad definitions, then yeah, just having the word in
Yeah.
it makes it the thing.
What were you saying about the way I eat pancakes?
You have nothing in between the top and the bottom layer but another pancake, so it's technically a sandwich.
Now, if you had
No.
5 pancakes with nothing between them,
It'd be a
that's
cake.
a cake.
Right.
I think we all agree on that.
Nachos. How is this?
So just
nachos?
unhinge your jaw like a python.
Nachos are
salad-
carbs in the
salad-
middle with stuff around them.
No,
So
this would be a salad.
salad-
A salad with croutons.
I would agree. I don't think nachos are a valid
And
term.
I know I said something wrong if you agree.
There we
Yeah,
go.
no,
See,
no,
look, they agree with you.
Hold on. We're talking about the starch, right? So a salad with no croutons is a salad, but a salad with croutons is a nacho.
That's true. Yeah, you're right.
It says it right here. It's right here. It shows you.
Right.
Lucky Charms,
Lucky
nachos,
Charms?
obviously.
So that would make chicken noodle soup a nacho, correct? Because the carbs are in the soup.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
No,
Also, I will say,
I'm not buying off.
The thing I hate about Texas, no poutine anywhere. I don't know why they just don't have it down here. It's crazy.
funny thing, that's what I love about Texas because poutine is gross.
What?
Oh, what are you talking about?
Oh, And
don't
I
think
had
you've
it-
ever had good poutine.
I had it at the gathering of friends in Buffalo. And
Well, you
it's-
had buffalo poutine. You have to have Canadian poutine.
Yeah.
they.
Totally.
I
Yeah,
saw.
did they put
I
buffalo
was
sauce
looking
in
at
it? That's the
Canada
problem.
while I was eating it. Does that help? You could see right out the window. I could see Canada.
No, they were mad at you.
It felt like it tasted like they took an entire thing of salt and just poured it right on top. It was so salty.
You had French fry salad.
Yeah.
The dressing was the gravy.
You mean French fries, not
nacho.
Don't do that. That's not funny.
Let's see.
Ramen.
Bonus round. Fried noodles, couscous.
Yeah. Yeah. It's all nachos.
But here's the thing. If you just rename nachos to some other word that isn't one of the things that it could be,
Sure.
you
it
could
would be
get
less funny.
Well, yeah.
It
Sure.
would work better. Absolutely.
Muffins. Oh, muffins are great.
Other blocks of starch are type 1 toast.
Yeah. There's only one thing.
Rice. You're free to interpret the nature of rice however you wish. That they leave to you. Vanilla soy latte, a 3-bean. Humans is defined by humans with ravioli. No, because there's openings.
Yeah, I think we're technically a burrito, right? Or not a burrito, a sushi, right? Because we have
Actually,
a tube that goes through us.
We're a donut. Because the hole on top, you know.
A donut doesn't have anything inside of it. We have stuff inside of us.
Well, there's a hole starting here and goes all. I mean, it's a big winding hole, but
yeah, but like I'm betting there's some poop in your butt right now. So the way is not 100% clear.
Yeah, but I wasn't with that. That was added later.
Can we just mark down that 250 becomes part of the reel for our new intro video about John saying, "I bet there's poop in you right now"? That needs to be in the thing later on. It has to.
No, because we can't promise that that's going to be a thing every episode.
250. No, I want that as the intro video on our YouTube channel. Like when people come there, I want that to be one of the outtakes.
It's just me saying, I bet there's poop in your butt right now.
Yeah.
I did not say on his butt or between his cheeks. I meant internal.
It's just maybe the people that excommunicated Pluto as a planet, isn't it? Well, you know. We can all agree Pluto's a salad, right? Like
No.
It's got the gases, it's got the solids.
So it's definitely a salad. And I'm pretty sure there's no carbs on Pluto.
With orbiting croutons.
Oh my God.
Well,
there you have it. It's easy.
I believe we haven't fixed a thing.
It did exactly what I wanted it to do. I'm going to go back and watch. I don't normally go back and watch episodes. Like there might be moments. I want to watch this and just focus on your face because it did exactly what I wanted it to do. Like it all makes sense. It all like if you take that for what it is, it and that's the thing. And you're right. Maybe it shouldn't be called nachos and it shouldn't be called sushi because it's defined as something else. But that makes sense.
Definitions are bad, and you can prove it using board games. Also,
correct. Yeah, that's true too.
Oh yeah,
if you go by if you go on BGG for 20 minutes, you can find mechanical definitions that you're just like, there is no way that this qualifies.
Well,
everything's a worker placement game. There you go.
Yeah. Even just the definition of what a game is maddening.
Yeah.
Like, because according to BGG, a game is an activity that has a scoring system and potentially a winner. But I would argue that Dungeons and Dragons is a game that does not have a scoring system or a winner. In fact, it has role-playing game in the title.
Well, there's player elimination. You can eliminate everybody.
Well, sure, there's player elimination, but that doesn't mean anybody won. The DM didn't win if he wipes out the party. Now, if the DM considers it winning, then that's not playing by the rules of the game. Because the rules of the game do not say that that person is the winner.
Right, but you could say you win if you don't get killed.
You could say that, but the rules do not say that. I could say I win at Ritual if I made 20 cows.
Sure.
Everyone else at the table disagrees.
But if everybody at the table agreed, then that becomes a new game.
With a whole new definition.
Yeah.
but as written, D&D has no winner.
But it is worker placement.
Well, there you go. Yeah. Scoring system is XP.
But it's not.
Because once you get to 20, wouldn't that end it? Wouldn't you be done?
XP is a tracking system within the game, but it is not referred to as a score anywhere in the rules.
You can actually go beyond 20 if you just pick other classes. I've been to 22 before, but it starts teetering.
Coot, you said tabletop RPGs are definitely a unique style of game. I agree, but You used the word game right there.
Well, let's see that where you said it's like an activity or blah blah blah. Because I've heard people go, "Oh, that's not a game; it's an activity," and that is always a fascinating.
Just punch those people when you see them.
That's always a fascinating thing for me, for people to say that like, okay, well, how do you define that? Like, and it's almost always subjective, right? Which I guess what you're saying is that
all definitions are subjective.
All definitions.
We got there.
We'll bring you down to the definition nihilism of which we live.
I'm not saying that a Pop-Tart is a sandwich. So we're not in concur. We don't concur.
No, a Pop-Tart is a calzone.
But we can agree that most things meet the definition of a salad. Dressed ingredients.
Multiple ingredients dressed.
There's also a definition of
just gonna fly by it.
Cultural. Yeah. There's also a definition of like cultural understanding, though. Right?
Oh, sure.
Like, just because it's not written down.
No, and definitions change all the time. But like trying to categorize things is really fruitless because there's always going to be an exception. And as soon as there's an exception, it invalidates the entire definition.
Okay, we'll take Dead of Winter, for instance. That's kind of in the same feel because as D&D goes, because you're just trying to survive at the end, right?
Mm-hmm. But there are clear winners. If you completed the main objective and your secret objective, you win the game. There are people, including me, who think that if I don't complete my secret objective, but the majority of the group wins, that's very good. But I did not win if the rest of the group wins.
Well, that's the rules, right?
Yeah, that's the rules.
Yeah. Well, then why define it with there's a majority of the people, like you just say that?
Because there are a lot of people who have what they call Diet Coke victories, which is if you're the betrayer and you destroy the game for everybody but don't complete your secret objective. They're like, I won, and no, you didn't. You ruined the game and you didn't win.
You made it so everyone lost.
That's
called house rules, which is evil.
It's house rules are the worst. I'll argue about that all day.
Oh, okay. Now we're agreeing.
Don't do this, John.
I get real angry about house rules.
Yes.
I think house rules are like going to a fancy restaurant and dumping salt all over your dish.
Yes.
Don't open this can of worms, John. You know it leads.
Up on the steak.
Ian's going to call me out because there's one house rule for one game that I use when I teach it only, with 2 people only. And that's nations. If you teach nations to 2 people, I play with a very small house rule to it.
Can we hear the explanation of Diet Coke as a name for that?
Because it's half the victory without all the calories.
Calories.
Yeah, John notoriously hates house rules, but has them.
Has one, not them.
I have one house rule that applies to all games down the line. That's it. Which is, no, I don't care what your rule is. We're randomly deciding first player.
Oh, that's a bad one. Don't do that.
No, it's not a bad one because
we spent a lot of
time. Say the youngest
person
person goes first. No, you're always going to be the youngest person. My wife is younger than me. She'll always be the youngest person. She always gets to go first. So I don't get to experience the game in that way. Yeah. What?
You never play a 3-player game?
Yeah, but I'm usually
younger than you are.
Yeah, but everybody else I know is older than me.
But not every game uses that rule.
I'm saying things like that usually stick you to one experience of the game. And being first player or second player or even last player, it's a totally different feel in most games. So,
I usually just choose first player by if I'm teaching a game to multiple people, whoever's furthest away from the least experienced player, so they can see turns before they go to understand things.
If it's a party game or something like that, then I usually just pick the person who knows what they're doing so they can see what's going on. Mm-hmm. But if it's a actual matters in the game, first place and all that stuff, I just do it randomly.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah, I just think there's some games that are like this character or something goes first. I don't think you can get out of that. Like, I don't think you can be like, no, we're going to go random, because I feel like that's probably
Yeah,
decision
that one
was made
okay,
for
right.
balance.
That one I will agree with because they have balanced the game off of that character going first, right?
Yeah.
But that's not a player, right? That character is assigned randomly. If that's
Yeah, so,
right.
so you're
still
saying
random.
essentially if it's a funny first player rule, you disregard it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. That makes more sense.
But if there is a mechanical reason, I mean,
Right. I mean, yeah, if it's like, it's still assigned randomly, right? Like if it's yellow, Colonel Mustard always goes first, then you randomly decide who gets Colonel Mustard. That's what happens.
I don't even know if I would consider it a house rule. It's in the rule book, but it's before the rules proper during the setup usually.
Or those not rules? Can you just set up whenever you want?
I mean, Ian, have you ever not put a board exactly how it shows? Step one of every rule, Ian, is put the board in the middle of the table. Have you ever played with an off-center board?
Yeah, Jim and I do that every time you tell us to put it in the middle of the table. We put it to one end.
You're the worst.
Because we like to make the experience harder.
But yeah, and a lot of times, like, we'll play a game and we'll be like, oh, well, this and this and this would fix it. And I'll be like, well, I just don't want to play this game again. Like, it should have been designed well, and I don't want to do the work to fix it myself. Like, I'll just play a different game that does the same thing better.
But how many times have you found out there's a rule that you missed?
That's different. That's just me using rules.
You're like, this game just doesn't work. And you're like, oh.
It's my fault.
I started this channel with a much harsher version, idea of house rules. And through discussions with Mike, I've softened a bit. My first was just like, because I experienced it as a designer where someone just come, hey, guess how I made your game better kind of feel. That's how I was experiencing it and stuff. And, Mike's brought up the whole, they should get to enjoy it however they do and stuff. And so I'm in the middle now. I'm like, it's okay if they have house rules, but don't tell me about it.
So here's the other thing. I completely agree with Mike. Enjoy the game however you want.
Yeah, enjoy it. Yeah.
I just don't want to play that. That's me personally. I don't want to house rule things.
Yeah, like Kabuki said with the just one, you don't get the penalty for guessing to encourage guessing. Like that makes the game more fun. Why wouldn't you do it? If there's people that want to play with the penalty to make it harder, then they can. But you have the option of, not the option because it's not in the rule book, but you have the house rule of it to make it more fun of an experience for people, not only maybe their first timers or family that doesn't necessarily play board games. Why wouldn't you?
But that's a real slippery slope, right? Like, why don't we just change every rule that we don't think is fun in every board game, and then we just designed a new game?
Sure. Well, I mean, it just one is that's the party game experience for something that. How many people really care that they got 13 out of 17 or whatever it is?
Party games, I really don't care about the rules in anyways because that's not the experience we're sitting down for.
Right. Sorry, am I in your way?
Yeah, we play concept by rules we invented. I
will say
by concept, but
I really enjoy the who are the video reviewers, the British ones. Shut up and sit down.
Shut up and sit down. Yeah.
I think it was them that talked about playing concept with the shame timer. And you can go as long as you want until you're too embarrassed to continue giving clues anymore. And that's the timer for moving forward.
That's good.
Oh, you limit wits and wagers betting. That's interesting.
Well, like we do that, Chris, on the show. Like we play colorful different than the rules are supposed to be. We play worst case scenario different.
Well, that's different. We have to adapt it for this medium. That's different.
We can play colorful where the person that gets the points is the person. Yeah, absolutely, you can. We just
that was your fault. You're the one that taught us colorful. In fact, I have a game that we may or up to us, but I have a game that is not how you play the board game exactly, but it's because you can't play the board game well and it wouldn't work well for the show. So you adapt it a little bit, right?
Yeah.
But that's different. That's like,
That's the exception to the definition.
There's always exceptions to stuff. I'll never say everything's salad.
The That's the problem.
Anytime you get down to one of these rabbit holes, it's just like everything's a salad. Like it fucking doesn't matter.
It's just all fun. We still got the banner going down because now that's the new name of the show.
Yeah.
My greatest accomplishment is I just renamed the show.
Everything falls apart.
Right in time for season 4 to start. We got 2 more episodes of this year, and then we start year 4 on the 22nd is the last one of year 3. So whatever is after that. 29th? The 29th starts the next year. So.
Oh, nice.
We'll rename the show on the 29th of January.
Really, the 4th season?
Yeah, we started. This is the end of the 3rd year.
I've known you that long? That's crazy.
Longer, because remember when the COVID started, you were on the show that I was doing on QSCon Tuesdays when you had the Kickstarter.
That's true. That's true.
And then we talked about doing this, and it was January. That following January.
Kabuki, they fixed most of that in the expansion. Oh, I guess you said that. My thing didn't scroll down. But yeah.
For Zaya.
Yeah, they fixed all that.
Oh, what is this one? Because I do have a house rule for Zaya. See, another exception. Okay, so I haven't heard of that one.
Sounds like you like house rules.
It's the ones that hate it the most, that they protest too much. It's they secretly.
But okay, so the one house rule is they have a rule that if you pull a tile and it's the sun, you die. That's the shitty rule.
Yeah, you
I would tell the designer to replace the shitty rule.
That's my favorite game as Zaya, is the time that Ian went on a crazy roller coaster, zoomed around like 18 tiles, kept revealing stuff, kept getting sucked down the warp paths, and then flew into a sun and died. It was I'll never forget that moment. It's fantastic.
It was like my first or second turn. I just kept getting blown through extra spaces and eventually ended up in the sun.
But that's why you don't blind jump. There's rules to get around that.
Why have the rule to blind jump in the first place then?
Because it's a risk versus reward thing.
Yeah,
you can take the extra because it's an efficiency game, right? So you can take the extra turns to discover the tile and then travel to it, or you can just blind jump and be like, "Oh, I'm desperate. Whatever happens, happens." I think it's very thematic rule.
It is the reason I want to play it again.
Because when you're in space, the one thing you can't see is the sun.
Well, sure, but you're not in the same. You're jumping to a different. Yeah, you're warping.
Yeah, I guess so.
If you warp somewhere and there's a ship there, you wouldn't know. You just enter it.
It's happened in multiple Star Wars movies that you've seen and you love, where they jump into chaos. They don't know that they're going in there. Yeah. They have a coordinate.
They go to jump and they just crash through a bunch of ships, and it's such a cool visual.
Yeah, that moment in Star Wars where Han Solo hits the hyperspace and then blows up because he goes right in the sun and roll credits. That's a great movie.
That happened with Ahsoka. That happened with in what 6, 7? They hyperspaced into a place that had gotten blown up and there's debris all over the place. They don't know it's there. It's not on any radar. They're jumping. So yeah, they could.
But they're not dead. They get to continue on and have fun.
Sure,
but I wasn't dead. I wasn't out of the game. My ship blew up. Right. I think I respawned somewhere.
Yeah. You start over. Basic. I mean, they start you over. Basically,
it was turn 2. Like I was.
Oh, well, that's different. I mean, okay. And to put this in the context. We were playing an 8-player version of the game at a con. And it was hour 4 when this happened to someone at the table.
Mm-hmm.
And they had to start over. That was a bad play.
I'm just saying they could hyperspace into a planet. They have coordinates that let them know, like, you're safe, but it could happen.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's not thematic. I'm just saying it's not a fun thing. There's a difference between a rule that's thematic and a rule that makes the experience fun.
I'm sure everybody else at the table laughed their ass off when you pulled a sun tile and died.
I didn't do it. It was someone else at the table.
Whomever did it.
I felt bad for them. Yeah.
I would have laughed. I mean, maybe not at a con and an 8-hour-long game like that, but
you go back to the hotel room giggling about it later.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, it's still the most memorable game of it I've ever played.
Yeah, someone combined 2 games as Zaya to make an 8-player. I didn't know. It was the first time I ever played, so I didn't know.
House rule?
I know. I didn't know. I was like, oh, it plays at 8. That's cool. And I jumped on it.
Pretty
And
sure it's not in the rules that you can do that, right?
Yeah, it's definitely a lot less punishing in a 4-player game.
yeah. I didn't know that I was jumping into a house ruled game right off the bat.
But then, I would put an asterisk next to your entire statement by saying they weren't playing by the ways that the game is supposed to operate.
Yeah, I would try it without the 2-game house rule before I change the game itself.
True. Yeah.
And I think that's a lot of the problem with house rules too. Is a lot of them are created when people don't actually learn the game correctly or don't understand it
or understand why the rules in place.
Yeah. Like I mean, there's a lot of people that really like to. They have every player draw a crossroad card in Dead of Winter during a player's turn because they're like, oh, I want more crossroad cards to happen all the time, and like that's not the intention. Like you can certainly do that, but
right. It's sometimes people just want a different experience in what the game is providing, which isn't the game's fault. It's just that's what their preference is.
And they're not us who know that you can just make your game, right? Like you can just make the game you want.
I mean, that kind of is how it starts, though, right?
Yeah,
you
that's
play
how
a
it started
game.
for
You
me.
go, oh, this could be a little bit better, and then you start, oh, I could probably make a better version for me of this game, and then you end up being a game designer. Yeah,
I played
I could do a
every
Dinosaur Island.
I played every other zombie game, and I was like, well, I wanna do the one that's not being done. Yeah. I will say I do have a Dead of Winter house rule, but it's kind of a secret house rule, and I only do it in person.
Oh, do I know it?
You do.
Is it the card?
Wait, it's not a house rule.
It's the card.
That's
But
in my
it's not,
copy too.
rules are printed, so it is a house rule.
It is a house rule.
It's an expansion.
It's not a published expansion.
It's a prototype expansion.
There is one crossroad card that I remove whenever I see somebody playing the game. I usually go and rip up their one copy of a crossroad card.
I replaced
Just in their
it
face,
with,
just pick it up.
I replaced mine with the holiday one.
Yeah, the promo one, the holiday card that I made.
Is it?
That's what I should do. Is just always carry around a replacement card for it.
Is it the horse?
No, the horse is fantastic.
Oh man, that horse is like the most thematic one in there. And I've run into the horse one like 3 times, and it's gone different ways every time. And it's just like, oh man, like I'm in the story when that happens. Sorry, I didn't mean to like dive into that.
Oh no, it's the deputy card, the deputy crossroad.
Oh, I don't know if I remember that one.
It's just,
I mean, you may have
it's
never
just
seen it.
bad outcomes, I think, is the issue or something. I don't know. People who have it can look it up, but my most thematic moment in Dead of Winter is when a dog named Sparky, has to kill my dog father with a shotgun.
That is my favorite. I remember that game very much. I mean, I think my favorite Dead of Winter game is when I got exiled before I took a turn.
Before you even got to do anything, they were like, "No, he's out."
Yeah, we were playing the too many mouths scenario, which is like my favorite for teaching people. And I was like the 3rd player, and I got exiled on the 2nd turn because on the 2nd turn, crossroad card came up. So in too many mouths, there's a bunch of helpless survivors that you have to feed. And the crossroad card came up that we could get rid of all the helpless survivors from the colony and only suffer half the normal morale loss. So on turn 2, we could have gotten rid of all the unhelpful or the helpless survivors and been down to 1 morale. And we could have recovered it because there's plenty of ways, and we would have had the resources to do it. And everyone was like, well, you're definitely the betrayer. And I was like, no, I just understand the game, and this is going to make it much easier for us. And then I got exiled.
Were you the traitor, though?
No. It was a good plan to kill all the innocent people.
Yeah.
That's how John and I are in
That's the line
semi-co-op. Is we're both good, but we both yell at each other because we think the other one is the traitor. Meanwhile, the traitor just gets to do whatever they want.
What was Gathering?
Unfathomable?
Right? Yeah, Unfathomable 2 years ago at Gathering. That was just 5 hours of us yelling at each other while the actual betrayer ran rampant on us.
Just was like, yeah, it's me.
Oh, that's good.
And like half the table believed me, half the table believed Ian, and then the betrayer was like, "This is the best thing ever."
I want it. You do it.
And the traitor won?
Yeah, they crushed us.
Kabuki Kid has a good question. I think they put it in the rules to have closed hands to try over alpha gaming. I don't think that alpha gaming is a mechanical problem. I think alpha gamer is a gamer problem and not a design problem.
As someone who thinks that they are an alpha gamer if they don't check themselves, I agree with that. It's not the game's fault that I'm making everybody miserable by telling them what to do.
Yeah.
It's just me recognizing that's not my type of game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
just like I don't design around cheaters either. Like if I'm playing a prototype and someone's like, well, you could just cheat real easy doing this. I'm like, sure.
Now, I would say, though, it's not a problem, but it is something you should consider whenever you're designing.
Cheating or...
No, well, not really cheating, but the alpha gamer thing, because in the case of Dead of Winter, I love playing Dead of Winter because you can't be an alpha gamer, because the more you tell people to do something to do it right, the more guilty and evil you look.
Yeah, there are, like, comparing it to Pandemic, I think that, Ian, what's the fireman game?
Flashpoint.
Flashpoint.
I think Flashpoint does a great job of eliminating any alpha gamer because you can save action points to the next round. So, like, that's just an example of good design, though, because it takes the pressure off the player, especially a new player, to know how to take an optimal turn. Because if I can just save action points, then it doesn't matter if my turn's optimal.
Yeah. Yeah, it's for me, like, if it's a cooperative game and there's hidden information, it's perfectly fine, because I can't tell you, like, oh, just do that, and that, and we're done. Like, I just feel like I'm playing a solo game, and I don't like solo games anyway, so, you know. And I don't want to be the asshole telling everybody what to do, so. So it's either me shutting up and not playing the game, but yeah, if it has hidden information like your secret goals or like a trader and all that stuff, totally fine with it.
Yeah, I think those things definitely can help with it.
But like I said, it's not a problem to be solved, but it is something you should consider when designing. Like, is this a game that does that? Is it not? You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, Luca agrees.
He's playing cat with me right now.
All right, well, let's see. How long have we gone? We've gone 3 hours and 16 minutes. Are you guys done, or you want to try a couple rounds of something silly?
I could probably do like 12 more minutes. Can we do it within that? Yeah.
We'll just do one round then, or 1 or 2 rounds here. We'll see how fast it goes. So this is based. This is I'm going to say it's based off of a game called Zero.
Called what?
Zero.
Okay.
Oh, Zero. We played that.
Oh yeah. So this game, it has a board and all that stuff, but I just took the cards out and we'll play it real basically. So I'm going to say, let's say it's Mike's turn. I'm going to say a category, and it's basically backwards Family Feud. So they have let me think of a category that's not in here. Let's say like Star Wars characters, right? So you want to say the least said one. So you might say like, now I'm got all the big ones.
Cloon.
There you go. So you might say that if you say Luke Skywalker, you're going to get, the most points, and you want to have the least amount of points at the end of the game. So I've just got a deck of cards that I grabbed a bunch of them and thought, I'll pull out some cards, and then I'll start with Mike and he'll go first. And then each one of you have to say something different. And then we'll go to Ian and then John, and they'll be around.
So it does have to at least rank. Is Kabuki Kid correct there?
Yes, it does have to be on the card.
Okay.
And most of these questions are limited,
Okay.
But there might be something that spills over. But it has to be on the card, and then whoever has the least amount of points wins. So, in fact, I got so many cards here. I'll give the person whose turn it is a choice between 2 categories. So, Mike, You get to choose a lyrical song in the Disney movie The Lion King, or a scoring category in the bottom section of Yahtzee.
What the fuck?
So pick one of them.
Yahtzee, yeah.
All right. So you're going to give me your choice first. And you want to pick the least said one.
And the card has the rankings on it already, right?
I have them right here, yeah.
And it was the bottom. Dude, you got to, hold on. The bottom half of Yahtzee?
Yeah, so well, I'm not supposed to give more information, but for people who aren't familiar with Yahtzee,
they're basically poker hands.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Most part.
Okay, I'll write my thing down.
Oh, you just say it. You get to say it, then they have to say something different.
Something different. Oh, it's not like a reveal
right.
thing. I'm gonna say small straight.
Small straight. All right, that's worth 5 points.
Okay, dude.
Yeah, I get 5 points.
What's the point range on this?
It's not too much. It's 6 to 4. So. Ian?
3 of a kind.
3 of a kind is also 5 points.
And Mike, what did you say?
I said small
straight.
Yep.
Full house.
Full house is 6 points.
That
was the biggest one. Strangely, Yahtzee is the second one. And then 4 of a kind, large straight, small straight, 3 of a kind. And then chance is the lowest one. Yahtzee was 6 points.
What is you're describing this to someone who doesn't know Yahtzee.
It's getting all 5 of the same number.
Okay.
All right.
So you picked that. I was like, why would you do this?
Ian, an officer rank in the U.S. Army, or an ingredient in basic cornbread. And no, it's not salad.
Cornbread salad.
I'll do cornbread.
Okay. All right. So what's your choice? An ingredient, the least said ingredient in cornbread. Do you cook it at all?
Yeah, but to my knowledge, cornbread is like 2 ingredients. I don't understand why there's so many ingredients.
Try not to look at the chat before you answer.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. Let's just have it over here. I gotta go flour, unfortunately.
All right, that's 6 points.
Yeah, I figured that was worth quite a bit.
The spread is 7 to 2 points. So.
Shit.
John.
Baking soda.
Baking soda, or baking powder, is worth 2 points. It's at the bottom. Well done. And Mike.
What was Ian's answer?
Flour.
Flour, yeah.
Say corn.
I'm going to say butter.
Oil or shortening is pretty much butter. That'll work. It's the second to last for 3 points.
Dang.
Okay.
Funny enough, corn is not in this list. Cornmeal is.
I almost said cornmeal, but I figured that was high.
That's the highest one, yeah. So, all right. And then, John, your choices are one of the first 10 movies directed by Mel Brooks, or an actor who has played James Bond.
Ooh.
2 movie ones.
Mel Brooks.
Damn it. I was picking the ones that I...
What's your choice? Corn is cornmeal. Okay.
One of the first 10.
Yeah.
You said, right?
Yes.
History of the World Part 1.
That's got to be high, I'm sure.
I think Young Frankenstein.
Yep, it's on there. And by the way, you get 10 points if it's not on there. It's on there, and it is worth 4 points.
Okay.
Dang. What's the point range?
8 to 0.
0. Oh, I want the 0.
There's 2
0.
All right.
Who's
What'd you say, Mike? Mel Brooks. Yeah.
Blazing Saddles.
That's number 8. Highest one.
Great.
Can you name any of the zeros, Ian?
My question is I think he directed this, but I don't know for sure. So it could be worth 10 points if I say it. Did he direct The Producers?
He did, but it's only 3 points. But still,
I'll take it.
Yeah, still really good. Yeah. So the most
disagreed.
The most said is Blazing Saddles, then History of the World Part 1, then Spaceballs, then Young Frankenstein, then Producers, Robin Hood Men in Tights. I would not have thought be under 10.
Yeah,
because it seems so recent, but I guess it was like 92, something like that. High Anxiety, never heard of it. Silent Movie. And then the 2 zeros are Life Stinks and the 12 Chairs. Oh, look at that. Kabuki Kid would have gotten 1 point with High Anxiety.
Yeah, look at that.
The 12 point. 12.
Thank you. Yeah, that was the limit of my knowledge. That was.
So if we do one round, we have John has 12 points, Ian has 14 points, and Mike is sitting on 16 points.
Oh, one round's perfect.
Sounds like one round.
You want the most points, yeah?
Most points loses.
Oh, right.
At least once. So anyway, I like just going through the cards, really. The rest of it.
That's fun.
What's up?
No.
Yeah, some of these categories are fun, like Girl Scout cookies, Gilligan Island people, countries that start with U, a chess.
What year is this game from?
What year? It's not that far because I know it's got some Obama questions.
Yeah, it's a few years ago. 18, maybe 19.
Yeah. Oh, 2000. No, that's not right. This is 2011. So I guess it is older now. Yeah, in
So
fact,
you can just come up with new ones though too.
In fact, one of the cards I took out was named Batman characters, and Ben Affleck and Robert Pattinson aren't in it because that hadn't happened yet. Yeah,
so that's like a Trivial Pursuit question. It says which actor has not been Batman? And
I've seen that everywhere lately.
Yeah.
Oh, and they also, I think it was all movies only, so you couldn't do the voice.
Right.
So that's not fun. So anyway, yeah, I like that game. It's a fun little game, party game and stuff. And the board game's not that much more complicated. It's just they have a board for you to go on that, like, you put pieces on and track it instead of just tracking how many points you get.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a fun game.
That seems great.
All right, should we wrap it up? I'm getting a little hungry myself, so.
Yeah, I'm good. I gotta get him to bed before he.
Oh, I got to do the whole like and subscribe thing. We're supposed to do this for people to like, right?
Yeah.
If you want more arguing about food.
Oh yeah, post what you eat so we can criticize it.
What's your favorite salad recipe?
Oh God.
List all the salads you can think of.
Okay, but you can only eat salad for the rest of your life as dinner.
Did I pick that one? Yeah, I picked S. I picked salad. I would.
It could be anything. Yeah.
Wait, so what's meatloaf then? Is meatloaf nacho?
Oh no. We got to end the show.
Well, meatloaf has the breadcrumbs in it,
So it's not
it's a nacho.
nacho.
Meatloaf is disgusting.
Meatloaf is
a
nacho.
nacho.
Gotta go.
Oh, good meatloaf is not disgusting.
Yeah, you're wrong.
There's no such thing as good meatloaf.
Oh, there absolutely is.
Is that the one where you like paint ketchup on it, like some sort of freaky Picasso?
Some people do,
Ooh.
but not everybody puts ketchup.
So
on
what's
it.
shepherd's pie? As a calzone because it's
That's
covered
also
in
gross.
potatoes and has the crust.
No, it's toast because it just has the carbs on the top.
No, it's got the crust. Oh
Yeah,
no,
it's a total pie.
You're thinking of a pot pie.
yeah, I'm thinking
Shepherd's
about
pie just has a topping of
Does it? I thought it also had one at the bottom. I could be wrong. I've only had
You
it
could
once.
do that, and then there would be a sandwich.
Michael's going to just spend his week just coming up
No,
with
you mean
new ones.
calzone,
Be like,
right?
what is this?
Yeah, I'm gonna taunt Chris all week now. It's gonna be great.
Yeah,
How do
this
you
is gonna be an
block
ongoing
someone?
group chat, isn't it?
You gotta block.
You'll see.
Just picture of a food and then the ruling underneath.
Uninstall Discord.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good week.
All right. I'm gonna get the link from you guys from you to put on the description and all that. So if you're watching this later, check it out. So what other things you want to tell people to look at? Nothing. Don't play games.
Hey, I mean, like I said, Fun Balanced on YouTube and Twitch. We're live every Thursday.
Yeah.
Myself, John, and our friend Jay. And we're normally playing a video game of some sort where chaos ensues. Recently, it's been Baldur's Gate 3, but a lot of people are avoiding that for spoiler issues. So we're bouncing around trying to find something that is as fun and chaotic as you see that we are.
I don't know what you're talking about. Just because in the first session I killed a man, stole everything on him, resurrected
We revived him,
knocked him out, and then proceeded to steal his underwear.
his underpants, yeah.
And he's now perpetually naked.
And in our camp. Sorry, after all of that, we talked to him and he joined our party.
Yeah, he's like, you guys aren't so bad.
All right. Well, great. Thanks for coming by, guys. And our first show of the year. It was awesome.
Yeah.
When
thanks so
is
much for
John?
having
While
me.
we got you, when is there a date for the Smurfs game?
Q4 or Q3.
Q3. Okay, cool.
Yeah, we're not kickstarting it. We're just going direct to market with it.
Oh, okay. Nice.
But yeah, I'll happily bring it with me because I'm in love with it. I think it's one of my favorite co-ops.
Yeah,
It's the
I played
Smurfest game I've ever played.
It's a Smurfy game. I played it at Daryl's a couple months ago, over the summer, I think. I told you about it. I enjoy it. It's really good, and the nostalgia factor is through the roof.
Yeah, I think it's a really smart design. I was
Well, no,
very
you have to
happy
build
with
the
it.
roof. That's part
Yeah.
of the game.
It's true. Initially, it's just a sushi mushroom house, and then you got to cap it to make it a calzone.
Sorry, it's an upside down bowl.
Is it a taco?
There's
Is there
no bottom?
It
No.
might be a tacho.
I think there's a bait.
I'm gonna hit the button. I'm gonna end it. I gotta end it.
Guys, thank you so much. It's awesome seeing you.
Oh, thank you for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us. This is awesome.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for watching.